All right. What's happening, guys? Let's see who's here. Check on the chat. Hope you guys are liking the poll today. Oh, you guys are opting out with a buy a pager from Hezbollah answer. What's going on, Reverend? What's up, Tired? What's up, Ours Wife? Oh man, what a strange world we are living in nowadays, my friends. Oh, gotta get my keys out of my pocket. It's not comfortable. I have gigantic keys because I have all my keys on it. My wife's always like, I hate your keys. We've got Diddy doing what Diddy does. What did Diddy do? What didn't Diddy do? We've got an essay from J.D. Vance that apparently was up that he either tried to get a professor to get taken down or did get a professor to take down. We got Adam Mockler talking about that. We've got Pagergate. We've got Robbie Roadsteamer. I don't know if you guys ever watch any Robbie Roadsteamer. But today we're gonna watch what I like to refer as the 3 acts of Robbie Roadsteamer versus Hulk Hogan. And then I just actually came across this while I was like messing around, and this shit looks hilarious. So we're gonna watch this too. And this is a small person, so I'm gonna ask that you guys do me the big favors and go like and subscribe and tell these people. Well, it depends. We'll see if the video is good, but the video is good. We're gonna do that. Kamala wants to pardon Diddy. Shut up, Bob. Yeah, I saw the mayor of Springfield said, "Please do not come here." Do not come here. Which doesn't surprise me. Jesus Christ, the level of ridiculousness that's going on in Springfield, Ohio today. Or just recently. I don't know if you guys saw, but is it Whitmore? Is that the university in Springfield? Whitmore University canceled their football games, canceled classes. There's been something like 33 total like bomb threats or threats of violence to Springfield, Ohio. The insanity and the irony of a bunch of people saying that people within Springfield are harming people and causing havoc, and the real actual people that are actually harming people and causing havoc are actually the people saying that dumb shit. It is Republicans. It is MAGA Trump-tards. It is idiots that literally like have never ever been anywhere near Springfield, don't know, they couldn't tell you the difference between a Cuban and a Haitian. I couldn't tell you either. MAGA at its finest. What up, Cajun? What's going on, Artie? It's just ironic. It's fucking crazy that they're like, these Haitians are causing all these problems. And then they literally cause all the problems. Anyways. Bob is in a bring your own battery situation. Oh, man. I had to Google some of this Diddy shit because I wasn't sure if it was true. I mean, being an ultra wealthy person just must. My only guess. This is my only guess. My only guess is that when you have so much goddamn money, you just don't have any purpose left in your life, and you start doing the weirdest shit possible. And I'm not talking about like normal weird. I'm not talking about like some little bit of like some freaky shit. Sucking toes. You know. Doing some weird no, like we're talking like weird shit. Like the like beyond the pale. Isn't that what they say? The way the fuck out there. I've got more money than God. Weird shit. And while looking for this stuff, because guys, I was just trying to verify. I was just trying to make sure before I come on here and talk about anything that I know what I'm talking about. while doing that, I came across this article by the Miami New Times. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have no idea. No idea. Haven't even looked at this article. I'll tell you what I did. I don't know who the Miami New Times is. This shit could be satire. We better scroll down to make sure this isn't satire. Okay, it says, Naomi Feinstein is a staff writer of the Miami News Times where she primarily focuses on news. Okay, it's not satire. Very important. Got to make sure before I start talking about this. Because this shit could be satire. That's how crazy some of this stuff is. I mean, I see down here trending is Laura Loomer and Trump sitting in a tree. Kissing. You know what? I might be right now. I might be becoming a Naomi Feinstein fan. I just like randomly Googled this shit, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. I'm gonna tell you why, guys. Because I clicked this play article thing, and it's an audio for you to listen to the article, and listening to this robot voice talk about the Diddy sex trial was quite possibly one of the funniest things I've ever heard before. Don't forget to like the stream, guys. We're gonna hop right into it. We're gonna listen to this thing talk about the Diddy sex trial, and then we're gonna listen to Titus talk about it. But I wanted to start by treating you guys to this little bit of what I heard from this article. And sure, you know, I laugh at a lot of stuff, so maybe this won't be as funny to you guys as it was to me. This shit was hilarious. Hilarious. All right, you guys ready for this? Vote for Jebediah Simpson. Good call, alternator. All right, you guys ready? What did Diddy do?
This is an automatic reading of the article. Lube, baby oil, narcotics. Diddy indictment details Miami freak.
Lube, baby oil, narcotics. Oh my god, I shit you not, that's like the best opening to a article being played ever.
Golf orgies. The unsealed federal grand jury indictment filed against embattled music mogul Sean Combs. This is an automatic reading of the article. Lube, baby oil, narcotics. Diddy indictment details Miami freak-off orgies. The unsealed federal grand jury indictment filed against embattled music mogul Sean Combs in New York reveals that agents searching his Miami and Los Angeles properties in March discovered copious quantities of narcotics, baby oil, and lube. The supplies were allegedly used as part of Combs' so-called freak-offs, at which he is said to have forced female victims to engage in extended sexual acts with male commercial sex workers. For decades, Sean Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires.
Dude. It's just like one of those things where I was never a Diddy fan, being a Tupac guy myself, growing up West Coast. I always liked Biggie, you know, even when Biggie and when Pac and Beef were beefing, like, you know, I couldn't say anything to people I hung around because I didn't want to get shot. But, you know, I thought Biggie had skills, man. Biggie was dope. But I always hated that Biggie had anything to do with Puff Daddy. It was like the most annoying thing in the world to have somebody as good as Biggie rapping on a song, and in the background you just heard Diddy's dumbass in the background just forcing his way in there. No lube. Yeah, what? Yeah, what? Shut the fuck up, Diddy! You're ruining the song! Then his ass signed Mace. I was listening to Mace the other day. But it's like, how do these people get to where they got? How did Epstein get to where he got? How did Diddy get to where he got? This is some of the weirdest shit. Like, who the hell looks at Diddy? Like, and goes like, ah, this dude right here, this guy's really got his shit together. This guy's got crazy power, crazy authority. Like, if Diddy rolled up on you at a party and was like I'm the man, I'm the one with the power, I got the juice, you'd be like, shut the fuck up, Diddy. Who the fuck was listening to Diddy? In jail with no bail.
Protect his reputation.
That's his next song, Sharon. Diddy's next song is In Jail with No Bail.
Called Freak Offs, at which he is said to have forced female victims to engage in extended sexual acts with male commercial sex workers.
Reverend says Cat Williams knew. Did Cat Williams come out and say something about Diddy before all of this stuff came out, or did he say it afterwards? Also, doesn't Cat Williams look like he knows some shit? Like, I don't mean in like a bad way, like in he was victimized way. Like, I love Cat Williams. I think Cat Williams is funny. Sometimes, obviously, he says some crazy off-the-wall shit, and he's probably a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. But, like, definitely some of the stand-up comedies that Cat Williams did were like, beautiful things. Beautiful things. But Cat Williams looks like he's seen some shit, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there are certain people that you see, and they seem, like, skittish, and a little, like, mildly paranoid. And those are people like, this motherfucker has seen some things and he's not okay with it. Like, he wants to talk about it. I've never actually seen that Shay interview. He'll be selling his houses before it's over? Oh, I don't doubt it. What's the chances? Oh, he did call him out on Club Shay Shay. Okay. What's the chance? What do you guys think the chances are that Diddy does any time? I mean, R. Kelly went to prison. Like, I was pretty surprised by that. Like, R. Kelly actually getting time. That surprised me. What do you think the chances are Diddy goes to prison? What are the chances you think that Diddy and Trump end up being cellmates? Think about that. And what was that dude from the 70s show? Danny Masterson? Dude, the prisons are going to be filled with the weirdest motherfuckers of all time. You're going to have Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine, okay? That's a weird name for that lady. Ghislaine. Just saying. Ghislaine Maxwell, Danny Masterson from that 70s show, Donald Trump, and P. Diddy. Just bunking up. You think he's getting 20 years, Bob? That's why they blackballed him. No pun intended. That's a funny one. Oh, R. Kelly. Wow, I just dropped R. Kelly and I forgot to even add him into the mix. What a strange time to live in. Is this just weird for me? Because I can't think of another time when you had, Harvey Weinstein, right? Harvey Weinstein also. And why is it all for sex shit? Like, what the fuck is wrong with our society? Am I forgetting anybody? Am I forgetting any big names right now that are currently in prison for doing weird shit? I'm trying to think. We got Weinstein. We got Diddy. We got R. Kelly. We got Masterson. We got Trump going in at one point. Who am I forgetting out of all these people? Oh, why? No, he's not out. He's being put back on trial, isn't he? Because the one in L.A., part of it got overturned, but the other part didn't get overturned. Only part of it got overturned. Oh, Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon also. Yeah, he's behind bars right now. There's a New York retrial, but the charges he got in Los Angeles are not part of that. He was charged like all over the goddamn United States of America. That man, like, he couldn't just assault in one state. He assaulted across the United States. Nah, he was out to go to trial. Cosby is out though. Cosby is out. Has there ever been a time where this many like big name people have been behind bars? Like, I can't think of another time. I mean, OJ. Well, didn't OJ go to jail for like a minute for like stealing those? Like, he went and like stole like some stuff that people had stolen from him or something like that, right? OJ was behind bars, I think, for like 5 minutes, but it wasn't for the actual thing he did. Allegedly. I don't know. Can OJ's estate like sue me at this point? I can't think of another time when there's this many people behind bars.
Suspended sexual acts with male commercial sex workers. For decades,
hold on.
the supplies were allegedly used as part of Combs' so-called freak-offs, at which he is said to have forced female victims to engage in extended sexual acts with male commercial sex workers. For decades, Sean Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct, the indictment alleges. The rapper known as Diddy, FKA P. Diddy and Puff Daddy, was charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He was arrested in New York late Monday night, 6 months after agents from the Department of Homeland Security raided his homes on Star.
Oh yeah, they got the Telegram guy too right now, right? I mean, he's not in America. That's in France. Now, he probably already got bail, right? There's no way the Telegram guy wasn't capable of posting bail. That dude posted bail. I bet all these people were using Telegram. I bet you money every one of these people use Telegram. How much you want to make a bet that there is a link between every one of these scumbags and the use of Telegram? Dude, that's all. Reverend said, I would whoop Diddy's ass if he tried to pit me out. That's what I'm saying. These are such weird people to have power over other people. Like, this ain't some Debo shit. And I don't mean Debo Samuels, 49ers fans. I mean Debo from Friday. Like, this ain't like some Debo stuff where it's like some big scary-ass dude. Like, it's Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy. I bet I could take Jeffrey Epstein and P. Diddy at the same time, and I don't mean that sexually. I mean in a physical fight. What up, Dark Cash?
Agents from the Department of Homeland Security raided his homes on Star Island in Miami Beach as part of an ongoing criminal probe. Over the past year, the hip-hop mogul has been sued multiple times, including by his ex-girlfriend and singer Cassandra Ventura, a.k.a. Cassie, over claims of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and racketeering. According to the newly unsealed indictment, attached at the end of this article, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members...
Dude, can you imagine? Just think about this. Like, the van pulls up, the back opens, and just cases of lube. Just imagine being, like, the fucking house cleaner. Like, in any one of the, like you go to Trump's Mar-a-Lago, and Trump's just like, here, take these classified documents, put them in the bathroom. Diddy pulls up next, he's like, here, take this case of lube, put it in the bathroom. Like, if Trump and Diddy were roommates, and you just happened to be there for, like, a soiree, right? That's what rich people call parties, right? For a soiree, all right? You come walking in. What up, Laura Luma? Yo, what up, MTG? Hey, where the bathroom at? They send you to the bathroom, and you're like, oh, look, nuclear secrets. Oh, look, a case of lube. 894 dildos. How weird would it be to work in this, like, environment? Like, you already are working with a guy that can't stop going, What? And then you're carrying, like, boxes of lube places. That's like, I don't know. Do you ask questions? Do you ask questions in an environment like that? I don't ask questions, I don't think. If some shit like that's going on, I think I don't ask questions.
Relied on the employees,
yeah, I need
resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The indictment claims Combs lured female victims under the guise of pursuing a romantic relationship and then threatened them to participate in freak-offs.
Oh, dude, you guys think this guy's, do you think Diddy... Does he know Andrew Tate? Allegedly? I just had to throw that in there once in a while. Do you think Andrew Tate has any connections to P. Diddy? Okay, here we go, guys. R. Kelly, Donald Trump, Harvey Weinstein, Andrew Tate, P. Diddy, Danny Masterson, all in the same jail. How fucking weird could this get? I am pretty sure that conspiracy theory about CERN and the Higgs boson and shit getting crazy after that, I think it all started with the death of Harambe. I think that's what the conspiracy theory is. I think there might be some credence to that conspiracy theory.
Which at times lasted multiple days. During the sex parties, prosecutors allege Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims by their hair. These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal, the indictment states.
Jesus
Combs
Christ,
allegedly
Diddy.
transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally and stocked up on controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting for his freak-offs. The indictment details how the rapper's business...
I should not have listened to it like this. I can't stop laughing because of this voice, dude. Extra linens? That sounds like some shit some rich person would say. Go ahead and give me a bunch of those roofies. I'm gonna take 10 of those dildos. Go ahead and give me 3 cases of lube, and oh yeah, give me some extra linens. Who the fuck says extra linens? Is that like East Coast thing? Is that like when people say pop instead of soda? Maybe I'm just the one. The freak-offs. And extra lighting.
Helped arrange the activities by delivering large sums of cash to pay the workers and scheduling delivery.
Can I turn up the audio? Yeah, I can turn up the audio. Sorry if you can't hear it. Oh, here you go. Sorry. You guys want me to restart it? Here, we'll go back a little bit so you guys can hear the good stuff.
This article, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The indictment claims Combs lured female victims under the guise of pursuing a romantic relationship and then threatened them to participate in freak-offs, which at times lasted multiple days. During the sex parties, prosecutors allege Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims by their hair. These assaults...
That's why they needed extra linens.
Often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal, the indictment states. Combs allegedly transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally and stocked up on controlled substances, baby oil.
Dog, cue Big Pimpin'. No! Oh my God. When Big Pimpin' comes on, like, people have PTSD now. Like you can tell who knew Diddy, like who participated in that shit. Like I was just saying about poor Cat Williams looking like he's got like some things he needs to talk about. Like he knows some shit. Like you can tell if Big Pimpin' comes on and people like flinch. Like people flinch a little bit. A Jay-Z song comes on and you're like, turn it off! It's like you're like own Vietnam, dude. Holy shit, Diddy. Diddy did that shit.
Lubricant, extra linens, and lighting for his freak-offs.
Oh, that's true. It was Jay-Z.
The indictment details how the rapper's business employees helped arrange the activities by delivering large sums of cash to pay the workers and scheduling deliveries of fluids.
I hope it was large sums.
Freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded, the grand jury alleges. During the federal agents' raids of his Miami and Los Angeles residences in March 2024, law enforcement agents seized supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube.
I'm having such a hard time. I'm sorry right now, guys. I know that this is not a subject. This is not a subject that I should be. I mean, my heart goes out to anybody that was afflicted by this shit. But the idea of like orchestrated, like elaborate sex acts while Diddy jerks off like off stage. What the fuck, man? Somebody get these people some pagers from Hezbollah. Someone needs to give Diddy a pager. That's all I'm saying. Look, allegedly Diddy did some shit, okay? And I'm just saying, I don't know why my taxpayer dollars have to go towards putting him on trial when you could literally just give this dude like a Hezbollah cell phone and just be like, hey, Diddy, check out Instagram. They're saying some shit about you. And then you just give it to him, and then you walk away, and just poof, and then it's over. Then you never have to worry about it ever again. You never have to worry about it ever again. He's a meat gazer. Exactly.
Including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihoods, including if they resisted participating in freak-offs. The indictment alleges
Jesus Christ,
victims
Diddy.
believed they could not refuse Combs'
Cajun,
demands without risking their financial or job security or without repercussions in the form of physical or emotional abuse. Combs is said to have carried and brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten others, including victims and witnesses to his abuse. Federal agents...
I'm having such a hard time because it's like, I get these visuals, okay? So the way my brain works is when people say words, I see pictures, right? When he says that Diddy is carrying around a firearm to intimidate people, like I can see Diddy, and this is weird, with no pants on, with a gun, like a 45, like an oversized gun, like walking around as elaborate sex acts are happening. Diddy's just walking around with a 45 going, don't look in my eyes. Don't look in my eyes. Like a bottle of lube in one hand and a 45 in the other. That's all I'm saying. It's not my fault. It's my brain's fault. It's my brain's fault.
Seized weapons and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s and a drum magazine at his Los Angeles and Miami properties. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise enabled Combs' control over victims by following his directions regarding financial payments to victims, advancing...
Now, this is ours, wife. This is exactly why Mace became a preacher. I guarantee you, Mace spent like 3 days with Diddy, and he was like, I need Jesus. Oh, my God. What was the dude's name? Shine? Wasn't it Shine that Diddy hung out with, and that dude got put in prison for like shooting a gun off at the club? You know, I'm starting to think maybe Diddy killed Biggie. Maybe exactly, Alan. Bottle of lube, 12-inch dildo, and a 45. It's hard not to laugh. I'm sorry. Holy shit.
Or suppressing the victim's career opportunities, and acquiring the controlled substances Combs used to keep the victims compliant, the indictment states. Members and associates of the Combs enterprise also assisted Combs in locating and contacting victims who attempted to flee his abuse.
What the
When
fuck,
Combs'
man?
authority or reputation was threatened, Combs and his associates allegedly engaged in acts of violence, including arson and kidnapping, and threats of financial and reputational harm. Combs and members...
How the fuck do we not know about this stuff until like years later? Arson and kidnapping? Diddy's like lighting people's shit on fire and kidnapping them, and we're just like now figuring this out? Like, this is the kind of stuff that I'm like me or you, we don't get away with not paying our taxes. Like, you don't pay your taxes for like 2 years, and like the fucking FBI shows up on your doorstep. Like, we would like to talk to you about some potential tax evasion. Diddy's out there lighting shit on fire, kidnapping people, walking around with no pants on, with a dildo in one hand and a 45 in the other, telling people that they don't get another hit, they don't get another single, unless they do some freaky shit. What the fuck is going on?
And associates of the enterprise pressured witnesses and victims through attempted bribery to stay silent and not report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. The indictment reads, PDF, Sean_2024_US.
Okay, I'm gonna have to, let's see, where's this at? I gotta find the indictment because I want to save the indictment. Oh, here, I'll just bookmark this. Bookmarked. We'll put that in the Tea Party Patriots folder. That's a good folder for it. Should we? I don't want to have a folder on my computer that says Diddy. you know how like Vosh got caught for like the horse porn and the like fucking lolly shit or whatever, like that in his taxes folder or whatever. The last thing I need is like somebody to like see a video where like I take down and it goes to my desktop and somebody's like, did anybody see the folder on Angry Ginger's computer that was labeled Diddy. I don't need that kind of drama, okay? I don't need it. All right, I don't know. I don't understand how, I don't care how much money you have. How do people get away with, like, all of that shit for that long? That's insane. Insane. And you know why? Because people don't believe women when they say that they've been assaulted. That's why. That's why. That's why. All right, let's listen to Titus. Titus is much funnier.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update.
Oh,
Puff
no,
Daddy,
like...
P. Diddy, Dirty Money, Puffaluffagus Dip Dap Doo-Wop, or whatever he is currently being called, by the way, had his homes raided after being accused of sex trafficking and violating RICO statutes.
Yeah. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh!
Homeland Security Department agents.
Like, who the fuck is scared of that dude? Hold on, one more time.
Of sex trafficking and violating RICO statutes.
Yeah. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh!
Just within the context. That's a really funny clip. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Homeland Security Department agents gathered evidence for an investigation being run by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York.
What's next? What's next? I gotta get it. I'm not gonna stay fucking down.
Now,
I'm never going to ever be able to watch anything with Diddy ever again. Oh, God, without just, like, cracking up laughing. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Everything that he does now is going to have some type of innuendo to it. What up, Spikin'? Oh.
According to law enforcement officials familiar with the inquiry, Sean Combs' Miami home was also searched. So what the hell is going on? Well, after being sued by numerous women over the years regarding sexual abuse. No, not him. Him.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody.
I could do anything.
Including Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassandra.
God, that is so crazy. It is. It's a fucking syndrome, dude. It's narcissism, right? But like, narcissism is not something you, like, develop, right? Like, narcissism is something that is, like, it's like a psychological disorder. You have narcissism. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Like, you don't have to be wealthy to be a narcissist. You can be poor and be a narcissist, right? Like, am I wrong about that? Like, you don't develop narcissism, right? I mean, I could be wrong about that. I don't know much about narcissism. But it seems like it's some kind of fucking syndrome. These people all have some weird shit in common, and yet somehow that also ends up with them having, like, fucking copious amounts of money.
Anything.
Including Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, the singer known as Cassie. She accused him of rape and repeated physical assaults and said he forced her to have sex with male prostitutes as he watched and videotaped.
That is so weird.
Wow. It looks like Puffy had
That
a Yoda.
is so weird!
And Poodle Doodle Ding Dang Aringa claimed he didn't do anything to Cassie and was totally innocent. Then...
Bro, I don't want to watch myself having sex with my wife. Why the fuck would I want to watch other dudes do it? God damn, that is so weird. I'm going to guess he paid money for it, but now I don't know. Maybe he just threatened to fucking set their house on fire if they didn't have sex with his wife. How weird would that be? You better have sex with my wife or I'll set your house on fire. What? I mean, yes. Is your wife hot? I mean, and I'm gonna watch. Oh, okay. All right. Huh? And I'm gonna videotape it. Okay. What happens if you don't last? What happens if it's over quickly? Does he still light your house on fire? I've got a lot of questions. None of them are appropriate either. None of them are appropriate. I have so many questions.
He said anything to Cassie and was totally innocent. Then he settled out of court for millions. You know, like you do when you are totally innocent.
Oh, God.
Joy Dickerson Neal accused Combs in a suit of drugging her and
Sandwich
in 1991, recording the attack and then distributing the footage without her consent.
Jesus
drugging,
Christ.
sexually abusing her, and not getting a signed video release? He's a monster. So how powerful is Poof Abracadabra Doppelganger? Well, after the raid on his house was announced, he sent a cargo ship to crash into and destroy the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. So the media totally changed direction and stopped covering the raid on his home. Yeah. Then Puff Puff Choo Choo Train had the gangs in Haiti destroy that country, so the media forgot that he is being investigated for being a sex trafficking sexual abuser, allegedly.
I could do anything.
Here's how powerful Pringle Doodad really is. He made one phone call, and the next thing we know, Donald Trump is whoring Bibles. Here's Donald holding the Bible with flesh-covered gloves so he doesn't burst into flames. What did Puddle Dag Navik pay to get burnt umber Satan to hold a Bible? Well, he obviously made a call to a judge and get Trump's judgment dropped from $440 million to $175 million, and made True Social, an app that made $3 million in 9 months, worth $13 billion. Yeah, that's right.
It's only worth $3.3 billion right now. I don't know if you guys saw, but the Trump media stock is down to, it's below what it came out of after the SPAC. I think it's 1560, and I think when it was its first day off the SPAC, I think it was $16. It's going to go a lot lower than this. I'm going to go ahead. This is not financial advice. I'm going to guess that by 2026, it's going to be an over-the-counter stock. It's going to be a pink stock, guys. It's going to be trading at the triple odds, okay? 0.006 is where I'm going for True Social, guys. $15.48 a share right now. Woo! I like this conspiracy theory, Titus. This might be the one conspiracy theory that I'm going to get pretty deep on. I like this one. Good job, Titus. You're bringing me in. This is the kind of conspiracy theory I can get
worth
behind.
$13 billion. Yeah, that's right. That's how powerful Patty Nod Doppelganger really is. In fact, Puff, the Magic Assaulter, is so powerful and rich, and he's so hooked up, connected, and LinkedIn. First of all, that he's not on LinkedIn, but he's also so omnipotent, so vicious, that people that cross him get hurt or disappear. So,
that's
maybe this is my last Armageddon update. I'm just kidding, Sean. You know I love you.
That's an Eminem.
I'm Christopher Titus. And this is the Armageddon update. You know, he stole that from Sting, and he has to pay Sting $5,000 a day because he stole the song.
Dude, Sting better watch out. Diddy will show up at his house with a fucking robe on, no fucking undies, a 45, a bottle of lube, and light his house on fire. There's just so many places you could go with this. I'm sorry. God damn it. This is why I'm not allowed out in public. This is also why my wife will never allow me to, like, when we go to parties, we go and we hang out with people. My wife just beelines. She just goes and finds other people because she knows what's going to happen. He's so embarrassing. So embarrassing. I guarantee you he's going to bring up the Diddy thing. He's going to talk about Diddy walking around with his schlong out. He's going to do it. I know it. Are you talking about Diddy burning people's houses down again? Maybe. It's fucking relevant, okay? You have a very small window of time to make these jokes, and I'm gonna get them all out, okay? Jesus Christ. There goes my channel. I'm getting banned. What up, Dog Cron? Sharon, I see you retracting those messages. It's okay, call me out. You can yell at me, Sharon. It's acceptable. My wife's not here to yell at me, so you can yell at me. All right, so I don't know if you guys know who this dude is. This dude's super awesome. put his channel in chat right now. Oh, yeah, we went from Diddy to Hogan, guys. Okay, and I want you guys also to understand that this is all Redonk's fault, because Redonk complained that, you know, we're doing too much on these things can be political, but adjacent. Political adjacent, okay? So that way we're not just always looking at the same shit, okay? It does get depressing. It does get boring. It is exhausting. So we're taking a little side journey. We're taking a little trip, okay? But here we go. We're going from Diddy to the Hulkster, guys. I hope you guys are ready for this. This is Robbie Roadsteamer, and this dude is hilarious because he just goes to these MAGA things and he sings songs that MAGA gets super like psyched for. They're like, yeah, this is my fucking jam. Yeah, brother. Guns N' Roses, the Hulk Hogan theme song. This is my shit. And then he changes the words to like Trump went to Epstein Island. And it takes them a while. Sometimes they bump along to it. They're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I like this. I'm feeling it. That's the good stuff. And then they're like, wait, did he say, Trump wasn't on Epstein's plane? No, he wasn't. No, that's not true. And there's always like some old lady that's like, you have to leave. You have to leave. Okay, so he's like one of my favorite people right now. I watch all those little clips of him trolling people, and it's pretty fucking amusing. So apparently, a while back, I think this is, it looks like a couple weeks ago, he went to a Hulk Hogan, like a meet and greet. So Hulk Hogan is now grifting off the Bud Light thing. Don't drink Bud Light. Drinking Bud Light is for the gays and Kid Rock, okay? So if you're a real MAGA dude, if you're a straight, heterosexual, white, Christian, nationalist, male, you don't drink Bud Light. That's for the gays, okay? So instead, what you drink is you drink Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer, brother. That's what you go for, all right? Because if you don't, you're gay, all right? Like, that's what's going on. So this is what he's been doing. He's been going around from gas station to gas station selling his Real American Beer to keep America straight, okay? Even though he's a dude that used to wrestle with other dudes while in his underwear, oiled to the nines, okay? And would pin them down until they gave up. Totally not gay. Totally not. It's what every heterosexual male dreams of. Anyways, Robbie here has been finding our good friend Hulk Hogan at these gas stations and fucking with him. And I am so here for this. Dude, I loved Hulk Hogan too, Sharon. I loved Hulk Hogan. This is why I am so all in on taking this motherfucker down now. You ruined it, brother. You ruined it. God damn it. The only person I liked more than Hulk Hogan was the Ultimate Warrior, okay? And that's because he is hyper, just like I was, all right? Ultimate Warrior definitely has some ADHD and some crack cocaine. So anyways, this is his first. We're going to go through the storyline. This is a storyline. I'm going to lead you through this story. This is the first encounter that Hulk Hogan had with the Road Steamer. We're just going to call him the Road Steamer from this point on.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Look at the shirt, the MAGA powers. We're gonna destroy the woke. What are they gonna do when we drop the big boot on trans? And we drop the big boot
that face
on everything. We drop the big boot on Social Security. Does that work for you, brother? Trump is a real felon. Then he went to Epstein Island. Trump, no physical, no political violence. No political violence. No political violence, though.
All right. So hold on. Hold on. No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. They're trying to jump ahead. We're not there yet in the story. We're getting there to the story. So that was Road Steamer's first encounter with the Hulkster at the gas stations. You got a lead? Hold on. I'm making my way through this story, but I will get to your lead. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna go check out. Let's go check out what Redonk is sending us so we can make sure that we don't want to get out of, we want to make sure we're going down the correct path of the storyline. We got to stay within the storyline. What you got here? Okay, oh, yeah, that looks good. Okay, we'll check that out. Okay. All right, we'll see about that in a minute, okay? We'll see about that in a minute. But I can't have Discord up because it makes a doo-doo sound in the background. All right. So this is the second part of this story. This is 2 weeks later, or a week and a half later. This is it. Looks like it was at Cappy's Fine Wine and Spirits, okay? Shout out to Cappy's Fine Wine and Spirits. I hope their wine is actually fine. So the Hulkster is still doing his world tour of sundown towns and liquor stores, okay? And he's selling his real American beer to real Americans, and the road steamer has been looking to find a way to get back in there and talk to the Hulkster and get back to singing the songs. And this is where he found him, apparently, at this Fine Wine and Spirits liquor store. Hope you guys are ready for this one. It's not political, brother. You like that? How do you like that start? Hogan starts by saying, "Where's all the girls?" Where's all the girls, Hulk Hogan? They're not at Cappy's Fine Wine and Liquor, you idiot. What the fuck makes Hulk Hogan think that he's going to show up to one of these liquor stores and there's just going to be hot chicks everywhere? They showed up for the Hulksters. Didn't Hulk Hogan have sex with his friend's wife? And wasn't his friend named Bubba the Love Sponge? Am I getting that wrong? Did he not have sex with, allegedly, Bubba the Love Sponge, his wife? It's hard to say that guy's name. Bubba the Love Sponge, his wife, and videotaped it, right? Right? I'm sorry, but Bubba's wife wasn't at the liquor store that day, Hulk. He wasn't at the liquor store. Where all the girls at? Okay. So what we got here is Robbie. Robbie has donned a bear suit, folks. Robbie has donned a bear suit to infiltrate into yet another Hulk Hogan Real American Beer speech? Event? What do you call these things? Anyways, the Hulkster does not know that he is about to get road steamered.
Beautiful. Oh boy. Trump is a real felon. Thinks the immigrants are eating cats. Trump is a real felon. Fight for all right. Fight for all right. Did you miss me? No political violence. No political violence here. I'm feeling strong about martial law. Da, da, da. See you soon.
Oh, dude.
What do you call the New Woke Order?
New Woke Order. Okay, all right. So, this story is not over, though, folks. This is not over. So, Robbie, while wearing his bear suit, has decided to head on down to Woke Central. He went to get him a frappuccino down at Starbucks. Get him a caramel latte mochaccino, okay, with extra whipped cream, extra caramel across the top. What is it? A venti, right? That's the big one. I don't speak Spanish, okay? Fuck, I've been watching too much Hulk Hogan. I feel like I'm getting a little racist just watching Hulk Hogan videos. Went down to get him a venti Americano with 3 shots of espresso, and it turns out Bubba the Love Sponge followed him down to Starbucks. Now, I'm sorry, Bubba. I don't think this is actually Bubba the Love Sponge. But if there was a dude, okay, if there was a dude that should be named Bubba the Love Sponge, it is this guy. So if this guy's name isn't Bubba the Love Sponge, it should be, okay? Maybe it should be Bubba the Love Sponge Jr. Bubba the Love Sponge Jr. That's what I'm going with, okay? So this guy has followed Robbie down to Starbucks to let him know how unhappy he is, okay?
I'm a progressive artist.
And I have every right to voice my opinion.
Yeah, you do, but that's not...
He also makes public speeches about Kamala at his public events, so I have every right to hit him back. If he wants to be a maggot, then I have every right politically to say what I think. And this is genius that I wore a bear outfit and got back in. You're right.
No.
You should appreciate.
No, you're...
And he's right. He's right, okay? Look, you may not agree with his political message, but that was fucking brilliant, okay? No one thought that underneath that cute, that beautiful, that furry, that fuzzy bear mask was Robbie the Road Steamer, ready to sing to the Hulkster, to serenade him with white Christian nationalist anthems. Serenade him. It was brilliant! It was brilliant! He's just a hater. Fucking Bubba the Love Sponge Jr. is just a hater. That's what it comes down to.
Got back in. You're right.
No.
You should appreciate.
No, you're
I don't hit him. I don't hurt him.
You're
Word.
a furry, bro. You dress up like
Yeah. To get him
Oh,
again,
that's
because
why he
you guys
followed
put me
him.
up. I got him
He's hoping for an invite to the convention. Now I see. Oh, I get it. I was wondering why this dude would follow him, but now I get it. He's hoping to get in the clan. You know what I'm saying?
twice, bro.
No, like
Yeah. To get in again because you guys would have picked me up because I got him twice, bro.
No,
I got him
you
twice.
dress up like a furry.
Yeah, to get again.
You're dressed like a bear.
Yeah, look at you. You followed me to Starbucks.
Yeah.
You followed me to Starbucks. Why don't you go help the Hulkster?
Yeah, I will help him.
Yeah.
He does a lot of genuine good.
Yeah.
Dressing up like a bear on a Thursday.
Look at the
yeah.
people there.
You have
Hawking beer because he can't stand the Bud Light Rainbow bottle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you done yet? You're not going to win this one.
You're not going to win this
You're
one.
dressed like a bear. I think
Yeah,
I
that's
already
your
won
only
this.
line. You've used it 10 times.
Dude, he's like, this dude is the smartest human being on earth right now. Yeah, you're dressed like a bear. Yeah, but you're dressed like a bear. Did you hear me say you're dressed like a bear? Because you're dressed like a bear. Yeah, you're dressed like a bear. Nothing else? Bubba the Love Sponge Jr. doesn't have anything else. I'm surprised at this word he hasn't called him something racist. So I think he's doing a pretty good job.
That's your only line. You've used it 10 times. That's your only line.
I don't need it
He
anymore.
shouldn't represent a felon. He shouldn't represent a felon at the RSC. He shouldn't represent a felon. Yes, Trump's a felon. 34 convictions. Did you not hear that?
34 convictions.
Yeah. Did you not hear that? He's being sentenced next month. Yes.
Okay,
And I bought.
so this is the best part. You're in a Starbucks. It's like woke central, right? I mean, if you're a Republican and you're getting Starbucks, you're going through the drive-thru, okay? So you're not going into the Starbucks with a MAGA hat on, right? Like, you're not doing that, right? So you're in woke central, and a barista sees this man talking shit to what I'm guess he is actually believing is possibly a furry, okay? So this Starbucks barista is probably like, hell yeah, I'm gonna step in between this shit. You ain't talking to this dude. Can be who he wants to be. He want to be a coyote, he can be a coyote, okay? He want to be an alligator, he can be an alligator. He can't be a fish, because I've heard that furries don't like fish. If you guys could help me out with that. I've never Googled it, but I've been told they don't like fish, okay? But this Starbucks barista, he saw this shit happening, and he was like, you know what? Not on my watch. Not on my watch, okay? He put down his venti caramel frappuccino. He stuck it to the side, put a lid on it, and he went and he dealt with this guy. That's what he did right here. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Oh, he just offended everybody.
Well, it wasn't happening in this store, so...
What do you mean? He's dressed like a bear.
Is he buying something?
He's dressed like a bear. It's such a weird thing to say. Like, that's when you know you have nothing. Like, the dude knows he just awkwardly followed this dude to a Starbucks to then just stand in the restaurant and say over and over again, but he's dressed like a bear. Like, no one noticed that he was dressed like a bear, and this guy's just like, over and over again, he's dressed like a bear. Oh, I didn't notice that, sir. Thanks for pointing that out. Oh, God, this is so amazing.
Something? Is he buying something? I just want my order.
The cops already know we're here.
Okay.
Yeah, so they know.
The cops already know we're...
It's disrupting the
Yeah, take your Thursday, keep dressing like a bear.
Yeah, that's your only
Take your
code.
Thursday and keep dressing like a bear.
You gotta go.
Yeah, gotta go.
I'm a bear. I'm a bear.
I'm dressed as a bear. I'm dressed as a bear. I'm dressed as a bear. I'm dressed as a bear. Nice life.
Yeah.
And come to our next event.
Yeah.
Because all it does, guess what?
Why don't you
All it
just
does
do
is
your
it makes
event?
the brand
Go to your
It
event.
makes the brand stronger, brother.
Maybe there's other bears in line.
I'm trying to help you.
Help a wrestler.
He said, you should go back and help the Hulkster. There might be another bear in line. Oh my God. Somebody should start this movement. People should start showing up to Hulk Hogan's beer events dressed up like furries. Like, you don't just have to be bears, but it'd be funnier if everybody dressed like bears. But God, that would be amazing. That'd be so funny if just people started showing up to Hulk Hogan's beer events and he didn't know which one was Robbie the Road Steamer. Do you think at one point or another Hulk Hogan starts like segregating costume people? Like, you're not allowed to be in line if you have a costume on? I bet that's what happens. What if there's just like some kid in like a bear costume that wants to meet the Hulkster, like he's a big fan at the Hulkster's, beer event, What if that happens? Some poor kid.
Who ball washes MAGA. Oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah. Absolutely.
Please, sir, I'm just asking you guys to please.
Please separate. Look at this guy.
I'm so sorry.
Dude, someone needs to get in touch with that Starbucks and give that barista a raise. That was comedy goddamn gold. Why would you follow him? Why would you follow him? Oh my God. Absolutely amazing. Amazing. Yeah, what do the cops have to do with it, Doc? What do you do? What do you do? What is the cop gonna do? MAGA are the biggest crybabies. The guy in the bear costume trolled us. The cops know what's up. The cops know about it. They're gonna do something about it, bro. They're trolling us. They're such fucking crybabies. Like, it's like the people that cry that other people cry. They're always canceling us. We're the victims. We're the victims. Dude, shut the fuck up. This is like, I thought you guys were hard asses. I thought you guys are just so tough. Ready for the Civil War. So ready for the Civil War right now. And dude shows up in a bear suit. And you're like, I've got to follow him to Starbucks and tell him he's wearing a bear suit. Like, geez, he didn't even have anything good to say. Fuck. Oh. All right. So anyways, here's dude's channel. This is, if you haven't followed Robbie, you should definitely go. God, it's amazing. Yeah, he saw exactly. Don Cron says he couldn't live with the look on Hulk, so he had to do something. Like, he was like, he just hurt the Hulkster's feelings. I can't let that go down. I can't let that go down. The Hulkster's a good person. Oh. DJ, it's back-to-back days during football season and soccer season. Back-to-back days until football season's over. We're doing Tuesday, Wednesdays. And that's why we had to break it up a little bit. We got to find some funny stuff. Instead of just watching Trump look like a moron for 3 hours straight, we had to actually watch some funny stuff too. So I'm going to ask you guys a favor. I mean, you guys go like Robbie's videos and subscribe to Robbie if you like Robbie. I like Robbie. I'm subscribed to Robbie. I watch his videos. I comment on his videos. I like his videos. If you guys like him, go do that. No pressure. But I do support all the small channels. So I haven't watched the entirety of this video here. So for all I know, could be shit. Okay? But I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor. There's not 10,000 of you. I can't make the impact that, say, Ren does, where he gets, 10,000 people to go like and subscribe to somebody's channel. But I like to try to do the little bit that I can to help out other small content creators. If you like this video, then I'm going to ask you to do me the favor to open another tab, to go and like and subscribe to this guy's channel, because he only has 3K subscribers. He just put out this this parody trailer. I watched a little bit of it. It looked pretty goddamn funny, so we're going to watch it. And it's got 20K views, so that means probably a lot of his subs are coming from this video. Or them. Their subs are coming from this video. So if you like this video, spread the love. Go like and subscribe to this person's channel. I hope you guys like this. Open another tab. That's kind of a lot of work. Eat a cat is totally winning right now. Eat a cat is totally winning right now. What's up, Renee? You guys are terrible human beings.
I think Hillary is very weak. I think she's pathetic. I think she should be in jail.
Everyone said he should be more civil.
Donald, you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency.
But being a total dick to everyone.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Worked out pretty damn good for him. Until the day that it didn't.
Clamp on the upper auricle, please. Suction on the earlobe. We're about to lose the ear. It's not working.
Dude, I saw somebody say, how big of an asshole do you have to be to have two people try to assassinate you and like 2 weeks later, nobody cares? Like, that is no fucking, like, real talk, right? Like, if this was Bush Jr., I think Bush Jr. was an asshole. I don't think that he was actually the president. I think Dick Cheney was pulling the strings. I think he was a puppet. But if somebody took a couple shots at Bush Jr., I'd be like, damn, man. Like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, now I'm not saying that I don't think it's bad, like, but political violence, in the words of Robbie Roadsteamer, no political violence, guys. I do not support political violence. But at the same time, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just kind of shrugging nowadays. People are like, you heard that Trump crash? I'm like, yeah. That was like 2 weeks ago, bro. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Okay? He said he was never going to talk about it again, and he talked about it like 14 times after that. He's never stopped talking about it.
We're about to lose the ear.
We're about to lose the ear.
This is a life and death situation. Do you choose love or hate?
I choose love.
Do you promise?
Oh, absolutely. That'll always take precedent with me.
There's no easy way to put this, Mrs. Trump. Your husband is going to survive. The bullet dislodged a tumor from his ear that was causing pressure on the brain. There's a very real possibility he won't be the same man you signed a prenuptial with.
When the bullet pulled that tumor out of his brain, like a Jenga piece, that was a transformation.
We've come to know it as the magic bullet theory.
Now this was no longer a man without full control of his emotional faculties.
Okay, hold on. What is that from? Is that a real Tucker Carlson quote? Now I have to go look this shit up, because anytime that I think that something isn't a real quote from Tucker Carlson or Donald Trump, I go and look it up, and it is a real quote. I'm going to need to go look that up. Yeah, help this person out. You have to help this guy out. This person. I don't know. Guy, girl, girls and guys, fucking non-binary, transgender. I don't know who they are. But we must know. And we must help the world know about this person. Not Tucker Carlson. Everybody knows who the fuck Tucker Carlson is.
This was no longer a man without full control of his emotional faculties.
The magic bullet enters the president's ear and somehow dislodges a tumor on his brain.
When he stood up, with blood on his face, and that tumor on the ground, even my brother Eric became someone that he loved. Dad.
Okay, no.
Days ago,
All right, there's some AI. Okay, I get it now. Thank God. Because I'm like, holy shit, these people, look at that kid. That kid looks so fucking over it. Both those kids look over it, dude. One's staring at the ceiling. The other one's like nodding off. Oh, those poor kids. Oh, man.
You told me. Dad, 5 days ago, you told me that you loved me for the first time.
My husband Donald showing me signs of kindness every day.
At the southern border in Mexico, thousands and thousands of hard-working migrants have been treated horribly. It's inhumane, unjust, and cruel.
My Donald no longer tells me about the many crimes of Hannibal Lecter in graphic.
Today I'm proud to announce that I will be embracing open borders.
Today, for the first time in my life, my dad and I played catch.
Dude, this is amazing! Oh my God.
It's great to be here with Hillary tonight.
Oh, dude.
We're here for a very simple reason.
Oh, I need a moment. This is amazing. This is on. Okay. So hold on. Here you guys go. Here you guys go. This is like some. Are any of you guys comic book fans? Do you guys know What If is? Like the What If series? There's the What If series, like, right? Like, what if Captain America became a bad guy? What if Spider-Man was never... What if Clark Kent was actually just a reporter? Like, shit like that, right? Like, this is the What If series right here, guys. This is like... this is something I didn't think that I needed in my life. And I so needed this in my life. This is amazing. And somehow heartwarming. Holy shit. What if number one was Spider-Man? What if Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four? I didn't know that, Doc. That's crazy. Oh, man. This is amazing.
Be here with Hillary tonight. We're here for a very simple reason, to defend women's rights to abortion. Thank you.
Yesterday, he stood up to another one of his friends who turned out to be a disgusting sex trafficker.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
after
forgot!
that, he even begged Mike Pence to forgive him for trying to hang him.
Never in the history of gunfire has there been a bullet this amazing.
Look at these other x-rays. There's not a racist bone in his body anymore.
Some bullet.
If you're gonna get shot in the head, that's the way to do it.
I am the least racist person in the world.
He really
Honestly,
said that
there
shit,
are lots
I
of
bet.
other people who could really benefit
I bet he
from being
said
shot
that.
in the head like this.
Mr. President, this is Elon. I've got a gun to my head right now.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm actually starting to like Hillary a lot.
Oh, man.
I've seen the most beautiful fields. You see all these windmills, they're all different shades of color. The most gorgeous things you've ever seen. One thing we can all agree on is the need to support.
The hills were alive with the sound of cancer. Holy shit, man. This is comedy genius. See, guys, you guys have heard me say this here on the show before. This is what the internet is for. The internet isn't for spreading fear and anger and hate and racism. It's not for getting bomb threats called into schools. It's not for getting people worked up and believing that the United States of America is the worst country in the world and the only person that can save it is Donald Trump. The internet is for watching deer run into screen doors and old men trying to jump over chairs and cracking their face on the concrete. It is for comedy. The internets are for fun, not for fear. God, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Support fields. You see all these windmills, they're all different shades of color. The most gorgeous things you've ever seen. One thing we can all agree on is the need to support the great work that comes out of the New York Times. I want congratulate President Obama. His birth certificate checks out beautifully. It's true. And Hillary is really something special. Really a dear, dear friend. We have proven that we can actually be civil to each other.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You look
is
good.
everything. When you get it right, it's a thing of beauty.
You want to touch my hair?
I would like that.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude.
People want this to happen. They really want it to happen.
Magic bullet.
I need the full
Everyone
movie.
deserves a shot at redemption.
Holy shit. Written by J.J. Abrams. Oh, man. Man. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 5 thumbs up. 18 stars. Terminal mode. Terminal mode, guys. Terminal mode is the name of this. Yeah, it is fucking real, though, Cajun. Yeah, that moment reality crashes in and you're like, yeah. Here's Terminal Mode's channel. Guys, watching deer, puppies, and porn. That is what the internet is for. Exactly, Gen X George. Exactly. I really believe this, guys. I think that there should, like, I am fucking over this whole, like, it's free speech, brother. It's free speech. I should be on the internet doing what I want, because that's how I do it with a hand down my pants. Wearing my boxers, telling people about things I believe and the things I know are going on in Haiti and them cat eaters. Right? I know what's going on in this world, and this is a bunch of you Satanist ass adrenochrome drinking. Oh, fuck, brother. It's the internet and it's my free speech. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. The internet is literally just so I can get on, stream music, occasionally watch pornography when nobody's in the house, laugh at memes, see whether or not a restaurant is good or not, okay? That's what it's for. And people fucking ruined it. They ruined it. And you know who is fucking enemy number one right now? Elon Musk. Twitter is one of the weirdest goddamn places that has ever been created. Elon Musk the other day said when Trump, the second shooter who did not shoot, he was the second gunman on the grassy knoll in Florida, Mar-a-Lago, okay? When that guy was there, Elon Musk posted on Twitter a face that said, it's weird that Biden and Kamala, no one's trying to assassinate them. And then he's like, guys, just a joke. Just a joke, guys. No one laugh at my joke. But it was funny, though. Why you guys no laugh? Oh, no one liked my joke. It wasn't a fucking joke. That's the weird shit that we live in nowadays. It's like this fucking thing where people post shit and they're like, just a joke. Why are you getting triggered, Lib? Why are you getting triggered? Just a joke. My friends I told it to thought it was hilarious. Then I posted it on Twitter, and now I know that it wasn't funny. Shut the fuck up. What's the woke Twitter? Woke Twitter would be... there's no real Twitter competition, I think. Like Threads, I guess, would be like the closest thing, but that's not like Blue Sky exists. Nothing's as popular as Twitter. So there's like, I mean, look at it this way. Twitter is like when you log on to Twitter, it's like Laura Loomer talking about Kamala's birth certificate, Elon Musk insinuating that somebody should try to take out the current sitting president, Donald Trump posting in all caps, Tim Pool allegedly spreading Russian propaganda. Okay, that's what happens when you open X, right? When you open Facebook, you know what you see on Facebook? It's your mother-in-law sharing a meme that says, if you don't share this by midnight, Mark Zuckerberg gets access to your account and all your private information. But if you share this meme, you'll stop him on his own site that he owns. Okay? Like, these are our two alternatives. You can either go into the goddamn ghetto where you could, like, get semantically robbed of, like, your humanity, your faith, your ability to be positive, or you can go over to Facebook where you can see your aunt argue with your grandmother. Like, that's the two options you have right now. And I'm going to say opt out of both. Opt out of both. Okay? Opt out of both. Okay. That was good. That was a really good video. We're going to link it one more time. We're going to link it one more time. That is terminal mode. Good people support good people. Of all my little cliche dumb shit I say, that's my favorite one. Good people support good people. Because there's too many times that people will watch a video and they won't like it, even though they had a good time watching it. Like my video. There's too many times that somebody will like a video, enjoy it, and not subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And instead, people prop up people like the Kardashians. People prop up like people like Tim Pool and Laura Loomer. It's kind of gross that that's where like our society is. Our society will go out of their way to donate to people like Donald Trump to make sure that he can get up there and spew the bullshit he spews all the time. But people won't take 5 seconds out of their life to go over to this dude's channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to a video that they really liked and actually enjoyed. So be the good person. Support the good person. All right? Go over there, like and subscribe to dude's channel. And if later he turns out to be like an Epstein's List, you guys can fucking yell at me, okay? Night, Reverend. Oh, Spikin. I saw something you said and I forgot about it. Spikin bought themselves and their significant other the Kickin' Ass, Making America Laugh Again. Here, let's pull it up real quick. Let's pull it up real quick. You too can have this shirt. So this is my website. I don't know if you guys know about my website, but progressivematters.com/home. You can go here. You can click on any of these links to take you to the podcast that I do with super famous people. You can go to my YouTube channel here and join it. You can click on either of these. It'll take you to videos and stuff. You can click the PayPal and you can donate to me and give me like $5 of your hard-earned money. Or you can click the button here for the Join the Angry Ginger Army, which takes you there where you can support me for only 10 cents a day or $3 a month. I appreciate that. Or if you're interested in getting something physical for your time, you can click this Buy Merch button right here, and it'll take you to my store where you can get this cool-ass t-shirt that says Kickin' Ass, Making America Laugh Again. And I am going to give 100% full credit to my good friend Spikin for that shirt. Great job, Spikin. Super awesome. I put it as close to cost as I could. I'm not making money off of it. I just want people to have cool fucking Kamala shirts. I thought it was a dope thing that Spikin said. I think it's really like pertinent to like what I do and what I want to do. I really want like America to be positive again. I want America to have fun again. I want people to like enjoy this one fucking trip you get on the earth. And I think it really said something about that. And I love this picture of Kamala that I used on here. So if you're interested in getting yourself a t-shirt, something comes in a bunch of different colors. Obviously, all the sizes comes in like a bunch of different types too. There's the sweatshirts, there's the tank tops, there's t-shirts, there's tie-dyed. Lots of cool shirts and stuff. You can also get yourself, I think this was from Spikin too. We can't talk again until you read a book. That's something I said to somebody on here. We made a shirt of that. We made the Lieutenant Bone Spurs. Freedom isn't free. All gave some gave all. One had bone spurs. We got the Lock 'em Up shirt. We got the 91 Felony shirt. We got the I Did a Coup and all I got was this lousy mugshot shirt. A lot of people don't want to buy that one because it's got Trump's face on it. And then we got the OG Angry Ginger Productions shirt, which one day we might change our name back to. Spiken's the shit. Spiken comes up with the best t-shirts. We're going to get Resting Tucker face on here at one point. We're going to get the Resting Tucker face shirt at one point. And also, I keep forgetting to reply to Gina's comment. Gina told me that Gina has $1 million idea, and I'm supposed to reply to that comment, and I keep forgetting because I am so goddamn busy all the time. All right. She's my best friend in chat and possibly in real life. Nice. Oh, dude, the Charlie Kirk face? That was a pretty good one. I should probably get the Charlie Kirk one. Yeah. Bill says, Epstein and Diddy got two things in common. Very, very young girls and rich friends who will pay big bucks to be with them. Trump is on videotape praising Diddy. Yeah, I don't understand the rich person thing. So I have an argument that being a billionaire is immoral, right? Like, I believe that. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. Over time, and as I've gained more wealth, as I've became more solid in my ability, like, I'm not a wealthy person, but I have more savings, right? I have my home. I have a lot of assets and not a lot of liquid assets. But the more money that I have, the more solid my foundation is, the more I feel like, like to do the right thing, to help people and stuff like that. So nowadays, if you ask me, do I think that being a billionaire should be illegal? I'm going to say no. But do I think that it's immoral? I'm going to say yes, right? And I think that I draw my line somewhere around like $250 million. If you have $250 million, I think anything after that is kind of just crazy to have, right? Now, I understand that a lot of people own assets. They own a lot of properties. But there's a whole nother argument to that as to when people have, like the BlackRocks of the world, when you have these people that come together and put all this money together, they buy up things that then increases the price because then the supply is low and the demand is still high. So that also impacts. So when people say, well, billionaires mostly own like properties and stuff like that. Well, yeah, but that's still a problem. Because if they buy everything up, then it makes it more expensive for those people that don't have that much money. So I think that there's a legit argument to say that being a billionaire is a very immoral thing to be. And the way that I explain it is I say it's a lot like having like a house filled with food. And that food's never going to expire. Now, a bomb could hit it one day and completely get rid of it. But you have enough food in your house to feed not only you, but your daughter, your granddaughter, your great-great-granddaughter, and generations as far as the eye can see. And just sitting right outside of your house is a bunch of starving people that all you have to do is give them like a small tidbit of what you have. And you don't have to donate it. You can ask for things in return. You can ask that you can choose who you want it to go to. You can be that person. You've accumulated that wealth. But I do think that it is immoral to hoard that much wealth and not be helpful, at least not for altruistic reasons. There's tons of, like, they proved that there was something to do, I can't remember, I'm going to mess this up, but it was like when they took away certain tax incentives for donations, billionaires stopped donating. Like the amount of donations went way down by billions of dollars, way down. Because the only reason that they're donating is so that way they can get away from paying taxes. So it's still very immoral. So I'm not saying that being a billionaire should be illegal, but I do think it is immoral. So the reason I'm saying this is I believe there's a second part to that. And the reason there's a second part to it for me is that I look at how many of these billionaires get caught up in these weird lifestyles where they're trafficking human beings, where they're harming people, where they're using money to like put small businesses out of business and take over like, entire like, communities with big business. That's immoral as well. I think that there is multiple avenues in which I could explain that I think that being a billionaire, though it may not be illegal, is immoral. And I think that one of them is exactly what Bill just explained. When you have multiple people from a certain class that is very, very small, the amount of billionaires on the earth is very small, and a percentage of them seem to be constantly getting in trouble for shit like human trafficking, that says to me that at one point in your life, when you have so much that you no longer worry about being able to take care of yourself or take care of your family because it's all just like, it's all automatic. You'll never go away. In fact, you have so much that you never, your kids don't have to worry about it. I think that it breaks people. I think it messes with their brains. And I'm not saying every billionaire is a bad person, but I am saying that much like with regular people, much like the middle class, lower middle class, there's a breaking point for everybody. And I think for some people, like mentally, they don't know what to do when they don't have any reason, any purpose anymore. And so they do weird shit like this. This is just my breakdown of why I think these things happen. So that's where I'm at with that. Is Diana Russell in the chat? What's up, Diana Russell? Diane Russell, not Diana. Sorry, I mess up everybody's name. So this just came out. It looks like it came out about 5 hours ago. And I thought this was pretty funny because this is one of the weird things. So watching that movie we just watched, watching the trailer we just watched, is actually pretty pertinent. Because if you think about it, that's what Trump supporters see. We might have laughed at that. We might have claimed this is a what if episode. What if Trump became a good person? What if Trump started, supporting immigrants and women's rights? Like, how crazy would that be? But while we're laughing, that's what MAGA sees. MAGA thinks Donald Trump is the person in that movie trailer. MAGA sees Donald Trump as being this really good person that actually is like super caring and loving. And the reality of the situation is he's nothing like that trailer. In fact, they had to skew so much of that trailer. They had to literally AI Eric Trump saying that his father loved him. Okay? And it's a very weird reality where these Trump supporters live, where they can take somebody like RFK, who not 4 months ago said Donald Trump is not only a terrible human being, but the worst possible person to choose to be the president of the United States. That isn't my words. You can go Google RFK and his tweet about Donald Trump from May and read exactly all the things he said about Donald Trump being a terrible president, a horrible choice, the worst choice to be the president. And now he joins up with Trump and everybody's like, it never happened. J.D. Vance said that Donald Trump was cultural heroin and that he could be this generation's Hitler. And now he's his vice president and nobody cares. It's not a big deal. They live in an alternate reality where you say things like, he's a convicted felon. They say, no, he isn't. You say, well, he's actually been convicted and he's going to be prosecuted, but he's not a felon. He is a felon. Literally. Like, you can say you disagree with the verdict, but you can't disagree that he's a felon. Nope. It doesn't work. They live in a completely different reality. So when I saw this video, I have a feeling that this isn't going to be clickbait. I have a feeling. You are a rock star, Diane. I went and watched your music, Diane. Diane is a rock star. If you guys don't know who Diane Russell is, you should go check out Diane Russell's. They do a show, and she's a musician. You should go doubly support Diane Russell, okay? Because Spiken said she's good people. I say she's good people. That means you should support her because, like I just said, good people support good people.
I have some breaking news. Donald Trump's VP pick, J.D. Vance, made a former professor delete a blog post Vance wrote in 2012 attacking the GOP over its anti-immigrant rhetoric. And we got our hands on this.
And the reason that this is important is because we are currently in the Republican sphere spewing the worst anti-immigrant rhetoric in years. He wrote this in 2012, and now he's the person spewing the rhetoric, and it doesn't matter to MAGA. They don't care. They're like, what hypocrisy? I can't spell it. Why the fuck would I ever define it? Oh yeah, he hurts. He hurts. Go check out
that he doesn't want you to see. And when we read it, you'll notice that it comes in stark contrast to J.D. Vance's present-day rhetoric about immigrants, where he's spearheading a national campaign to demonize Haitians in Ohio and demonize immigrants in general. I want to break down his blog post, and I also want to break down J.D. Vance's evolution, or it's more like he devolved over the past decade from somebody who had some moral, guiding principles to somebody who now puts on a MAGA hat and doesn't care at all. Do you guys remember this story from NPR that reads, J.D. Vance is unrecognizable to his former friend who shared their emails and texts. Vance is known these days for being a far-right politician. He's expressed his opposition to marriage equality. He's opposed abortion.
And even wasn't his wife, wasn't she part of like some progressive group before all this? And this is what I'm saying. Like this is mask off type of shit. Like you don't have to be a rocket scientist to suss out what's going on here. This is a grift. MAGA, if you want to give anything to MAGA, it's that it's the ultimate grift. It's the easiest grift. I've said before on this channel that if I really wanted to do this for money, I would have just joined MAGA, right? Because you literally get your voice boosted. That's why I get irritated when I'm telling you guys, go support these channels, support these good people. I'm not just saying it to just hear my own voice. I want you guys to go fucking sub to these channels. I want you to support these people, because over on the MAGA right, they will literally support a person that has said shit that is completely hypocritical to the things that they believe. And they'll send them money. They'll support their channels. They'll share their shit across the fucking nation. But a lot of times on the left, you get people that are like, this person's okay, but not worth subbing to. Oh, that video is pretty good, but is it worth a like? I don't know. Maybe next time. And I like that people on the left are thinking human beings. That's great. That's great. But you don't have to think very hard about this one because this person, his wife used to be a progressive person, I believe. I could be wrong about that. He used to be anti all this rhetoric. He had a book that was like liberals fucking like, oh my God, this is the greatest. And now he's all of a sudden this fucking Christian nationalist dude that's like, fuck immigrants. It's a grift. And it's an easy one. And it's an easy one because these fuckers will literally go to their channels, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, send them $35, and then spread their shit across the internet like AIDS.
Including in cases of rape and incest. He's aimed to criminalize gender-affirming care for minors. All of that is in stark contrast to the J.D. Vance who Nelson knew for more than a decade.
Thanks, George.
The J.D. Vance who was at Nelson's bedside with homemade baked goods after they went through a gender transition-related surgery, a transgender surgery. The friend who called Donald Trump a racist and a morally reprehensible human being is now by Donald Trump's side, using the same type of bombastic, apocalyptic rhetoric that has plunged America into such a dark political time. A week after President Barack Obama won re-election in November 2012, J.D. Vance, then a law student at Yale, wrote a scathing rebuke of the Republican Party's stance on migrants and minorities, criticizing it for being, quote, openly hostile to non-whites and for alienating blacks, Latinos, and the youth. And
if you've read Broken Badges and White Robes from Joe Moore, who infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan, you know that in 2012, the Ku Klux Klan's numbers swelled dramatically because of the re-election of Barack Obama. When they planned his assassination in 2009 and Joe Moore thwarted that assassination attempt, he said that the person who is, I think, what is it called? The something knight for that clavern, said to him, he said, you did us the biggest solid, because he didn't know he's an FBI informant at the time. He said, you did us the biggest solid by not assassinating Barack Obama. that was a godsend for the Ku Klux Klan, because so many people joined the Ku Klux Klan because of fucking becoming racist, because a black man became the president of the United States. So in 2012, when he's writing this blog post, that's literally when we were joking that there was a 1-800 number on that KKK pamphlet we saw last night. But that's actually real. You guys can look this shit up. In the book, Joe Moore talks about that the way he re-infiltrated the KKK the second time in 2000, I think he re-infiltrated in 2000, it was either 14 or 16. I think it was 14 he re-infiltrated it. He literally just called a 1-800 number and said, hey, I want to join the Klan. And they were like, they sent him a message back, asked him some questions. He said, yo, like, he knew, like, the talk. He knew, what is it, Cliggy? It's something they say, Cliggy brother, or something like that. And he got back in through a 1-800 number. That is where we're at in our society in 2012, 16, and so on, is that the Klan can literally put out pamphlets with a 1-800 number to it. And during this time, when he writes this blog post, the Ku Klux Klan numbers are exploding. They're the Oath Keepers, the Three Percenters, the Patriot Front. I think the Patriot Front is a little bit newer. All of these people have Ku Klux Klan members in them from that time that he was in the Ku Klux Klan, when he had infiltrated it. So you can think, if you're J.D. Vance and you're writing this at this time, and these are your values, there's no fucking way that this isn't a grift right now.
For being, quote, openly hostile to non-whites and for alienating blacks, Latinos, and the youth. And again, J.D. Vance has turned on the school he went to, Yale. He now says these universities are elitist. You can't trust them. They are too woke. And J.D. Vance has lost all of his knowledge, or he's grifting his way to power and acts like he doesn't have any of this knowledge, because I guarantee J.D. Vance from a decade ago, or from 12 years ago, from this 2012 message, would say that immigrants are beneficial to the economy, but listen to him now.
If the path to
man, fucking that couch really changed J.D. Vance, allegedly. You know how having like that one girlfriend in your life can just change your whole life? Like my wife changed my whole life, right? You know how that one girlfriend breaking up with that one girl, just like you know there's a dude or two, right? We've all got a friend. We've all got a friend who had one bad relationship, right? And after that one bad relationship, he's always telling you about how crazy women are. You can't trust them. Women are crazy. You can't live with no woman. All this, like, you know, all the worst. It just turns into like a fucking misogynist, right? That's like what happened to J.D. Vance. I think he fucked that couch, and I think like he just hasn't been the same since. Allegedly. The eyeliner.
12 years ago, the 2012 message would say that immigrants are beneficial to the economy, but listen to him now.
If the path to prosperity was flooding your nation with low-wage immigrants, then Springfield, Ohio would be the most prosperous country and the most prosperous city in the world. America would be the most prosperous country in the world.
What?
Because Kamala Harris has flooded the country with 25 million legal aliens.
He's essentially saying if immigration helped the economy, America would be the most prosperous nation in the world.
It is.
Number one, we are the most prosperous nation in the world, almost by every measure. And number two, the vast majority of our wealth has been built off of the back of black
immigrants
people that were forced to come here, but also immigrants that came during the Industrial Revolution. J.D. Vance knows this. He is just pretending. We'll play more clips, but back to this article. 4 years later, after 2012, as Vance considered a career in GOP politics, he asked a former college professor to delete that very article. That professor, Brad Nelson, taught Vance at Ohio State University while Vance was an undergraduate student. So J.D. Vance's former professor deleted the article for him during the 2016 Republican primaries because...
And what changed? What changed, J.D.? Was it a talk that Peter Thiel gave? A talk where you went and met Peter Thiel afterwards, and all of a sudden Peter Thiel was helping you get jobs? Peter Thiel was funding you for stuff, allegedly? Money will change a person. Money will change a person. So will fucking a couch. Just so you guys know. I don't know that from personal experience.
He wanted to do him.
Never had
So
that
JD
experience.
Vance's former professor deleted the article for
How
him
hot is
during
the
the
couch?
2016 Republican primaries because he wanted to do him a favor. He wanted to make his life easier and thought he might have an easier time getting a job
There you
in
go.
Republican politics.
There you go.
However,
There
we
you
got our
go.
hands on the
There you
article
go.
titled A Blueprint for the GOP. Quote, a significant part of the Republican immigration policy centers on the possibility of deporting 12 million people or self-deporting them, Vance wrote in 2012. Think about it. We conservatives rightly mistrust the government to efficiently administer business loans and regulate our food supply, yet we allegedly believe that it can deport millions of unregistered aliens. The notion fails to pass the laugh test. The same can be said for too much of the party's platform.
See, I agree with JD Vance. I agree with you, JD Vance. It's a stupid idea, and I've said it over and over and again. How much money would it cost to deport all those immigrants? What would happen to our economy when you don't have those farm workers to do the jobs that nobody wants to do? Not to mention that a lot of these undocumented people aren't farm workers. They're just workers. Like, that's almost like that's become a stereotype about these people. But a lot of these people, like these Haitians that are there in Springfield, are doing warehouse jobs. They're doing regular jobs. They're doing black jobs, apparently. Wait, can Haitian people take black jobs? Someone needs to ask JD Vance and Donald Trump if Haitian people can take black jobs. I feel like this is important.
Aliens. The notion fails to pass the laugh test. The same can be said for too much of the party's platform, and this is actually a point I make all the time. Now, JD Vance is making it from a slightly different perspective. He's talking about the efficiency of deporting 12 million people. It's not that he's against it morally. We're against it morally, but we're also pointing out, hey, if you're going to deport 12 million people, where are those resources going to come from? Especially in Springfield, Ohio. If the police force is occupied deporting well-meaning families, then other criminals like Donald Trump will be able to do whatever they want. Also, Donald Trump said it will necessarily be a bloody process deporting these people, so it's just they want violence from the government. So-called conservatives want the government to overstep when they don't trust the government in the first place. JD Vance makes a decent point, and I like how he's actually able to articulate his points. Again, you put on the MAGA hat, you drop 50 IQ points. 12 years later, as former President Donald Trump's running mate, Vance espouses many of the same anti-immigrant postures that he criticized back in 2012 as a 28-year-old law school student. In recent days, Vance has amplified baseless claims against Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio. Not only that, but he then doubles down.
The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to, create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's
Dude, that's like I said, it's mask off, dude. It's insane to watch people like just be told right to their goddamn face, like, I made up shit. But hey, guys, I did it because I love you. I did it because you guys are hurting, and we needed to bring a shine of light on your situation. But the situation you're trying to shine a light on doesn't exist. If you made up the stories, then that shit ain't happening. So what are you shining a light on by making up stories about shit that's made up? I don't get how this makes any fucking sense at all. Like, maybe, okay, that's a good point, Adam Mockler. Adam Mockler, you put on the MAGA hat, your IQ drops 50 points. I think that's the solution. Now, I don't know if I can wear a MAGA hat. Joe Biden's willing to go all the way there for the joke. As a person that likes humor, that enjoys a good joke, I applaud Joe Biden. He was willing to go there. I might have to try this. I might have to turn the lights off, lock the doors, have my wife like outside with a gun in case shit gets crazy. Like if I come out saying things like, I'm voting for Trump now, shit like that, she can shoot me right in the face. It'll be totally okay. Okay. But I think I turn the lights off, lock the doors, flip on a Trump speech, put on the MAGA hat, and see if I can understand. I think I'm going to do it. Pray for me, guys. Thoughts and prayers.
I have to create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana.
You just said that.
So this dude is creating stories.
You're creating about story. Public policy.
I like the Dana Bash face.
No, the video didn't pause. That's just a very awkward moment between JD Vance and Dana Bash after she calls him out for saying he creates stories.
Sir, you just said that you're creating the story.
What's that, Dana?
You just said that this
What's
is
that,
a story
Dana?
that you
Yes.
created. So then the eating dogs and cats thing is not.
He's just such an awkward person all the time.
Jesus
Asked on Sunday
Christ.
about his previous criticism of Trump's immigration
Oh
policy,
my
Vance
God.
argued that Trump's immigration rhetoric was actually the reason he changed from a Trump critic to a supporter. It's so rich the way these people slither their way around facts. Quote, the reason that I changed my mind on Donald Trump is actually perfectly highlighted by what's going on in Springfield. What's going on in Springfield is a story that JD Vance himself manufactured. Read this tweet. Why we need professional journalists. A JD Vance representative told the Wall Street Journal about Anna Kilgore, a Springfield, Ohio woman whose cat went missing in August. So Chris Marr drove to her house. When she found this lady, Anna Kilgore,
my God.
she apologized to her
Oh
neighbors
my
because the cat was
God.
in the basement the whole time.
Are you
This is the
kidding
lady,
me?
Anna
I don't know who I'm madder at. This fucking lady, that fucking cat, or JD Vance. That's going to be the next poll. I mean, cats are assholes. I love my cats. I have cats. But cats are assholes. So I expect it from the cat, okay? Trump supporters are assholes. I expect it from the Trump supporter. JD Vance fucked a couch, allegedly. It's JD Vance's fault. It's JD Vance's fault. What the fuck,
Kilgore
man?
with a truck. Chris Marr drove to her house. When she found this lady, Anna Kilgore, she apologized to her neighbors because the cat was in the basement the whole time. This is the lady, Anna Kilgore, with a Trump cap. A Vance spokesperson on Tuesday provided the Wall Street Journal with a police report in which a resident had claimed her pet might have been taken by Haitian neighbors. But when a reporter went to Anna Kilgore's house Tuesday evening, she said her cat, Miss Sassy, which went missing in late August, had actually returned a few days later, found safe in her own basement. Kilgore, wearing a Trump hat and a Trump shirt, said she apologized to her Haitian neighbors with the help of her daughter in a mobile phone translation app.
God.
These are the people that are spreading these rumors, or at least
God.
sparking these rumors that JD Vance then spreads on a national level. It is
JD
so
Vance is a
incredibly
moron.
irresponsible. Vance's past anti-Trump rhetoric is well known, as he was a vocal critic of the former president during much of Trump's first year in office. And though Vance defended many of his supporters, he wrote on Facebook in 2016, quote, they are undoubtedly vile racists at the core of Trump's movement. And I am sure that JD Vance came to that conclusion because he listens to the rhetoric of Donald Trump. He listens to the rhetoric of Trump supporters, and he was able to read.
Yeah, see, I don't think he does listen to Donald Trump. I think JD Vance gets on X, sees all the morons that are on X spreading all the dumb shit that they spread that they never actually research while telling you, do your own research. Jesus Christ. I think he gets on there, he sees all that shit, and he just sees a chance to grift. He's like, if I agree with these people, if I just say they're right, they'll love me. That's what Donald Trump recognized, right? Donald Trump realized when he started talking and saying fucked up shit, and people were like, oh, that's funny. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Oh, wow, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, that's good. When he did that, when he saw their reactions, he realized, like, oh, man, I have something here. I'm an idiot. They're idiots. I could be the king of the idiots. And what J.D. Vance sees is he looked into there, and he's like, Jesus Christ, look at how dumb these people are. Boy, they'll fall for anything. These people are so goddamn gullible. And Donald Trump ain't going to be here forever. Shit, I could be king of the idiots.
read between the lines. I do still think he is able to. Honestly, if I'm going to be 100%
fucking
honest,
that couch,
I think
Diane.
JD Vance in
Never said he
2012,
didn't.
2014 was probably a good, nice guy, and now he only has shells, remnants of that. He is a shell of a human being, because when he goes out in public, he's so awkward. And you can see this was probably a nice college frat bro at one point, but he's just lost all of that spark, and he's grifting. He is not being himself. If he was being himself, he would be a center-right Nikki Haley conservative, but instead he's been thrusted into this position as Trump's VP. That is just my instinct, and it's backed up by a lot of this evidence. JD Vance used to be a normal guy. Nelson, who spoke highly of Vance in messages with CNN, that's his former professor, calling him one of the brightest students he's taught, said Vance's post had, quote, ruffled some feathers in some campaigns that Vance was thinking of working.
Yep, and this is the thing you have to be careful with these people. I was once arguing with a friend of mine who's very, very anti-religion, right? And he said, all people that believe in God are idiots. All people that are religious are idiots. And I was like, that's not... I was like, I don't agree with that. You know, why don't you agree with that? I go, because there's a lot of really intelligent people that, you know, life's a very difficult thing to define. Life is a very hard thing to understand. And when you're an intelligent person, you can think yourself into corners where the only answers are these ones that you can't explain, right? Like when you think about like the universe, it's a very difficult thing to contain within like the being of a human brain, right? Like the ideas and like how far you have to go and how intelligent you have to be to even understand like the simplest components of physics are all incredibly complicated. And so I said, no, I think that there are plenty of really intelligent people out there that are religious people, and I think that they've thought themselves into a corner they can't get out of, and I think that their explanation is that they can't explain it, and so this is the answer. I think that sometimes people are not giving certain people within Trump's camp the credit for how devious they are, how intelligent they are. Because it's one of those things where you want to like demean your adversary. You want to say the other person's stupid. The other person just does things for the most basic reasons. The other person is doing things that are like they're emotionally reacting to these things. And I'd be really fucking careful with that. Somebody like JD Vance could be a lot more intelligent than he comes off as. And that's actually scary because I've said this and I'll say it again. And that is, Donald Trump is not the main character. Donald Trump is just a populist president that people like the Heritage Foundation believe they can get elected. He's an electable person, as fucking crazy as that is. He's an electable person where Mike Pence, not really electable. J.D. Vance, not really electable. Ron DeSantis, not very electable. Nikki Haley, she's a woman, so they're not going to vote for her. Vivek Ramaswamy, he's an Indian. They're not going to vote for him. He's the wrong color. Donald Trump is their foot through the door. He's the guy that gets elected, uses Schedule F to deplete the administrative wing, to restructure the FBI and the CIA, to get people on election boards throughout the country, to then make it possible for somebody like J.D. Vance or Mike Pence to get into office, and then a place like the Heritage or people like the Heritage Foundation, that's when it comes through. That's when they've got you. So that's one of the things we have to be careful of. I make a lot of jokes. I talk a lot of shit, but I'm never dumb enough to think that the people that are sitting across from me are all just morons. Donald Trump is a moron, 100%. But the people around Donald Trump, I don't think they're as dumb as some people think. I think J.D. Vance, he understands what he can use these people for, and once he's used them for money, the next logical step for him is to use them for power. So that's a real scary topic there. Hi, Manic.
Quote, I was a bit surprised the students he's taught said Vance's post had, quote, ruffled some feathers in some campaigns that Vance was thinking of working for. Quote, I was a bit surprised at the blowback he apparently received from the GOP, as I thought his post was fair.
I just want to say something because Spiken just said something. Spiken said, finding comfort and faith doesn't make you unintelligent. The question is, how do you balance faith with knowledge? And that, my friend, that's me. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
fairly innocuous, but in 2016, we all know what happened. Trump began to wrap the GOP around his finger in a way that we hadn't seen before. Here's J.D. Vance getting confronted by Kristen Welker on this same issue.
This week on former President Trump's baseless claims about migrants eating pets in Springfield, Ohio, claims you first shared online, Senator, earlier this week. Local authorities now say there have been no credible reports of migrants hurting pets or animals, and in fact, neo-Nazis are now taking credit, frankly, for pushing these rumors mainstream. Why are you continuing to double and triple down on these baseless claims?
Well, two important points here, Kristen. First of all, I have heard firsthand from multiple constituents, people who made 911 calls a month ago, a year ago, who were making these complaints. I trust my constituents more than I do the American.
And by the way, they've never been able to prove any of these things he's saying. They have literally asked him for any evidence, any proof to any of these things about 911 calls, about people that have done these things. Not a single one of these things. You know what they have? They have old white people standing in front of broken down cars in their front yard talking about, my cat came up missing and I know them immigrants been around here. They do bad things. That's what they have. That's their evidence. That's their proof. There's no actual. There's one fucking black dude that's a fucking influencer that was like, Haitians are bad drivers. That's it. That's it. That's their proof. That's nuts.
American media that has shown no interest in what's happened in Springfield until we started sharing cat memes on the internet, which is.
But here's the thing. He trusts his constituents a little bit too much, because this is what ends up happening. He blows up a story based off of somebody whose cat was in the basement
which
the
could get
entire
people
time.
hurt.
This article reads, J.D. Vance offers proof of pet eating, but it's proven false with one simple phone call. Donald Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, has dug in on his claim Haitians in an Ohio community are abducting and eating pets, even as the state's GOP governor and other officials insist there is no evidence of such behavior. But the salacious claim was easily debunked. It's absolutely hilarious, and I also think that Donald Trump took his lessons that he learned from Roy Cohen, the famous closeted New York lawyer who is a troublemaker and who mentored Donald Trump. He taught Donald Trump never concede, always deflect, attack, lie, attack back, never ever say that you're losing or admit defeat, always double.
And Roy Cohn was he was a McCarthy acolyte. Literally the guy who the term McCarthyism was coined for the Red Scare. The guy who said he had 52 names of communists that worked in the government, and he was never able to produce a single bit of evidence to have any of those people prosecuted during the Red Scare. That was Roy Cohn. That was his guy. That's the guy who taught him. And then he taught Donald Trump. This makes sense. This is easy enough to understand.
Down, and we see that with Donald Trump every time he loses, when he loses an election or a debate or a court case. And I think that he gave J.D. Vance some guidance in this case. He mentored J.D. Vance, and he said, hey, we should not ever concede that we were wrong. And J.D. Vance took Trump's advice because it's the dude that he looks up to.
Yep, that's what
and
DJ
now
just
we have
said.
articles like
Double
this,
and
calls
triple
for
down.
J.D.
Never
Vance
admit
to
you're wrong.
resign after he admits that he created pet eating story about immigrants. He did admit that he created the story. We just heard it. Just about every time J.D. Vance, the most unpopular vice presidential nominee in American history, opens his mouth, he ignites a firestorm of criticism. I say that all the time. Every single time J.D. Vance opens his mouth or touches a stage or gets in front of a camera, he makes the situation much, much worse. He ignites a firestorm of criticism and likely shaves another point off the Republican presidential's polling numbers. Very true. Quote, if I have to create stories so that the American people actually have to pay attention, I'll do it, said J.D. Vance. And now people are saying, in the wake of J.D. Vance admitting he created the pet eating story, and as a result of the very real threats the communities and people he has targeted are now under, I am calling on him to resign as our senator, said Ohio State Representative Casey Weinstein. An Ohio State representative called for J.D. Vance to resign as the senator, and I'll leave you with that. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment a blue horn rhetoric.
Oops.
And we got...
Okay, and I'm gonna leave Adam's channel right here for you. Yeah, I mean, this is why this is getting so bad. Is we're getting to a point where it's like you don't have to tell the truth. You don't. Like there was a long time in politics where we knew that politicians were disingenuous. We knew that they were, pulling sleight of hand. We knew that they would say things to get us to vote for them that they wouldn't follow through with. We knew that was possible, but it was one of these things where we were like, but we are going to do our best to hold these people accountable to these things. And now they're just coming out and just straight up saying, hey, here's this thing that you don't like and it's happening. And you're like, well, here's proof that it didn't happen. And you're like, doesn't matter. You can provide all the proof you want to. These people don't give a shit. They know that what I just said to them makes them angry, and they like that. They like being told that they are right. They enjoy it, and they are going to continue to eat it up every time I say it, and they don't care that you have any proof or evidence to prove me wrong. That's what's getting scary about this environment. Here you go. This is Adam Mockler's channel. For those of you, most of the people that follow my channel follow Adam. The only criticism of Adam Mockler you have is his hair. DJ, that's funny. For those of you that don't know, I have an interview that I did with Adam Mockler. We actually talked about how to reach MAGA Republicans. This was, dude, how long ago was this? This is 8 months ago. This is back when Adam Mockler only had about 70K subscribers. He has almost 500,000 now. So help this man get to 1 million subs. Go like and subscribe his channel. And also, if you get a chance, go check out my interview I did with him. It's a real short one. It's only 26 minutes, which, as you guys know, any interview with me could be 2 hours long, easily. Okay? It was a 26-minute one. And we sat and we talked a little bit about what Adam Mockler thought we could do to reach like family members of ours that are voting for Trump, people that we're friends with that are voting for Trump. We talked a little bit about the Socratic method, and funny enough, Adam hadn't done any of these sit-down things like this. Adam hadn't really interviewed people other than the MAGA supporters. And during that talk at the very end, I said, Adam, what do you want to do? Like, what are you into? What do you see for your life? You're still a young person. You're not going to be doing Trump supporter interviews your whole life. And he said, I hope to be able to sit here and do this that I'm doing. He was just setting up everything for what he's doing. And he said, I hope that at one point I'll be interviewing people that are important, senators, Congress people. And Adam Mockler just achieved that. At the DNC, he was interviewing big names, cool people, doing good things. So for everybody out there, I know Diane's got her channel. I know He Hurts is making some music. I'm trying to do my thing. Like, for all of you out there, there's no better example of a person doing the thing that they wanted to do than Adam Mockler. I'm super proud of Adam Mockler. It was crazy to sit there and talk to him about that and then watch him go on this ride to become what he's become. And he's got so much further to go. Super cool. Glad I had even like a very small, minuscule blip of a portion of history where I talked to Adam Mockler and we talked about these things. So I'm just saying, you can make a difference. You can be a muckraker. That's all I am. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a real activist. I just get on here and I talk, and I hope that I show people that I use my mind, and I hope that they realize that they can use theirs too. I hope that I influence people to be thinkers. Tamika, the girl that passed away, that there's a short of her coming on my channel as her sister was typing out to her that she was passing away and she wanted to say goodbye to me. She said the first time she was in my chat, she said, I like watching your show because you make me think. And I was like, that's it. That's it. That's all I want, man. I don't need adoration. I don't need appreciation. I don't need love or any of these. I don't need money. All I need to know is that it makes you think. Like that's what people need to do more. They need to think about things. So really cool to see Adam Mockler do what he's done. So go like and subscribe to Adam Mockler. I find you in the comments on Adam's show. I know, I see you every once in a while, woke. All right. Where are we at? We're getting close. We're getting close. I always check right at the 2-hour mark. Wanted to watch a couple more videos here. Want to give a spotlight to a couple more people that I think are super duper dope. More people that you guys should be going to and supporting. And one of those people, I hope you guys are ready to laugh, because Straight Facts No Chaser is hilarious. Hilarious. He's funny, and from what I understand, his girlfriend or his wife is a comedian as well. So I see why she chose this man to be her significant other. And yeah, Straight Facts No Chaser, super dope channel. I'm gonna put the channel in the chat, because I already know that this is gonna be a good video, because I've watched about 10 of this man's videos and they're all hilarious. So once again, a guy that's about my size as far as subscribers go, a guy that gets the views though. This dude gets those views. All right. So please help him out, help him get a voice, help him get a platform, raise this dude up. He's super funny. He knows his shit, and I love watching his videos. So don't forget to go like and subscribe. Let's see. Have you Diane Russell says, have you on as a guest? Spiken has your info. Unfortunately for me, my my internet sometimes is not the greatest. And so when I do interviews with people, if you want to do that, I will get your info from Spiken, and maybe we can either do a pre-recorded interview, which is what I do with a couple of the law professors that I've interviewed. Adam Mockler I interviewed. But I do go on other people's show every once in a while, but I'm a little bit worried about my internet connection's ability to host people's stream. I don't want to waste anybody's time, get them on the show, and then have technical difficulties. As everybody knows with my show, if you have technical difficulties, drink. But let's make something happen for sure, Diane. Let's make something happen. I'm always happy to work with people. Ever since my friend Angela Knight stopped doing YouTube, I've been looking for a home. So we're looking for a home. I still got my boy Gray Pill. Gray Pill is a good dude.
What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Straight Facts. Donald Trump had another assassination attempt, and now I've held off till I could find enough information to be able to give my 2 cents. Earlier today, I saw all these MAGA nuts out here blaming that he was a Democrat and that it was Democrats' fault for trying to assassinate Donald Trump. Now, at the time, I said to myself, this guy is more than likely going to be a Republican, not a Democrat. Think about this for a hot second. It turns out this guy voted for Trump in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
He was disheartened by what Donald Trump turned out to be.
Hold on.
Was pissed and did not.
Hold on. He didn't vote for him in 2016. Straight facts. He voted for him in 2106. This man is from the future. He voted for him 90 years from now. Oh my God. Is Donald Trump going to be alive at 168 years old? Oh God, don't say things like that. I said that. Yeah. And Diane, you can join the Discord as well. I don't know if, I see Spiken saying there, I'll get with you in Discord later with Diane's info. Feel free to join the Discord. People like to argue in the Discord. I don't really get into Discord because after I do my job, after my other job, I'm usually tired as shit. I work very long days nowadays. But if you want to join the Discord, you can hop in there and argue with people that argue in my Discord. They're all lefties that argue with each other, which is really funny. Yeah, feel free to join the Discord. 2106. I'm worried, Doc. I'm worried, Doc.
He was.
Whoops.
This guy voted for Trump in 2016. He was disheartened
we can arrange something,
by what
Diane.
Donald Trump turned out to be,
something.
And was pissed and did not vote, it appears, in 2020. Now, in 2024, he wanted Nikki Haley. He was trying to get Vivek Ramaswamy not to drop out because he couldn't stand Trump.
Dude.
Turns out he's one of these Republicans.
But who would be dumb enough? This is why I know this guy's insane. This is why I know Ryan Wesley Ruth is seriously mentally ill. What Republican would believe that any other Republican would vote for a woman for president and a vice president that is not white? Like, that's actual mental illness. When you believe that a Republican's going to vote for a woman and an Indian. Not happening. Like, you are actually mentally ill if you believe that shit. Oh my
Turns
God.
out, not to drop out because he couldn't stand Trump. Turns out he's one of these Republicans.
DJ just said something. DJ said, anyone see Trump misgender Nikki Jam? That was the best, DJ. Nikki Jam. I don't know if you guys know who that is. She's a very hot woman. I've heard she's a very hot woman. Didn't he do that right before Nikki Jam came out, too? Isn't that what happened, DJ? I didn't see the actual video. I read the transcript. I read the media report on it, the article. I also saw that Nikki Jam pulled his Instagram support. He had a post that was supporting Donald Trump, and after he got misgendered, he pulled it, his support post. Yeah, he erased all mentions. Yeah,
he's not registered as either.
That's what I thought.
He couldn't stand Trump. Turns out he's one of these Republicans
DJ.
In name only. He's not registered as either. He was just a person in the Republican Party that had been fed up with his party falling the fuck apart right before his eyes. Now, many people thought he was a Democrat because he's for Ukraine. This man said he would literally sign up and go fight over there and die for you.
But that's the thing is like traditional conservatives aren't against supporting Ukraine. Like, actually, a lot of this makes more sense than the Matthew Crooks, right? Was it James Matthew Crooks is the guy's name? Because I think the Crooks kid was literally just trying to become famous. I think he had looked at, from what I understand, I could be wrong about these things, but from what I understand, he had like Googled the JFK killing. He Googled multiple other people. He had made plans to go on like a spree of taking out these like politically important people like Biden, like Trump, like Merrick Garland. I don't think that the kid was doing anything more than what kids do in school shootings, and that is to go out and be famous and make a name for themselves and die. That's my opinion of what Crooks was doing. But if you look at this guy, he seems as though he is exactly what Straight Facts just said. He seems like he's a guy that was disenchanted with what Donald Trump did with his presidency in 2016, that feels as though like he had put his trust in Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump had done things that obviously he didn't think he would, and didn't do the things that he thought he would do. And then he's seeing his party being, torn apart and overtaken by Trump and his sycophants. And obviously, like I said before, this guy probably is not the most mentally healthy person of all time. So it does make sense that this guy would think he's got to do something to stop this dude from ruining his Republican Party. And obviously, there's a lot more information to come out. I'm sure we're going to see some of it here in Straight Facts No Chaser video. But saying something like that he's a Republican and that he's supporting Ukraine doesn't make sense. Actually, to me, does make sense. Traditional conservatives would support Ukraine. They do support war. They do support the military. It's only MAGA Republicans that have become this anti-Ukraine, anti-military group. This is a new thing.
And die for Ukraine. Again, Ryan Ruth, R-O-U-T-H, was not of the Democrat ilk. He was from the Republican Party. I've been saying a long time now, just like the last one was a Republican. The Republican Party is trying to annihilate itself. You see, Donald Trump came in and got rid of the Republicans and made it MAGA. Now, these people who aren't MAGA want them out. And the only way they can see them getting out is if Trump is taken out. You guys forget that the Republican Party, the regular Republican Party, before this guy and MAGA minions, before the Tea Party, there were many of these Republicans, nut jobs, going to these Planned Parenthoods, bomb threats, shooting at people, setting it on fire in the middle of the night. They were batshit crazy before MAGA batshit crazy was even created. So what Donald Trump did was come in and divide the crazy.
Yeah, he made it okay. And people have been saying this since 2016 when he first ran, is that the worst thing that Donald Trump did was allow people to feel confident in expressing these beliefs, allowing all of these people that were closet racists to no longer feel bad and instead come out and just say the things they say. For all these people that harbored, ill feelings of immigrants and women, and these dudes that thought like women shouldn't deserve or don't deserve the right to vote. They couldn't say that, but now they can. And you have movements like the Red Pill movement, which is influencing young men to also think that these things are okay. So you really do have kind of this like coming together of like the Red Pill movements, the Andrew Tate type guys, and then Donald Trump like enhancing the racism and misogyny of certain Republicans within the party. And that's what's created this MAGA movement. And then you add in like the paranoia of the anti-big pharma, anti-vax left that really moved away from the left during COVID, and all the Bernie supporters that became disenfranchised because of everything that happened with Bernie in the primaries, that then became angry at Bernie because Bernie supported Biden in his run, supported Hillary in his run, and they felt like he was disloyal to them after they had been loyal to him. Those people went to MAGA. This is all what created MAGA. All of these things coming together created this strange, crazy mental illness that is the MAGA movement.
Yeah, MAGA batshit crazy was even created. So what Donald Trump did was come in and divide the crazy ass people and create the dipshit ass people. And now they're warring for Trump. MAGA minions want him to be here for 100 more years. The Republicans in name only, those batshit crazy ones, want him gone because they want the party back. They're thinking they're doing something patriotic. None of this has to deal with the Democrat Party. Have you noticed a theme here? The nut jobs are almost always Republican. The ones going up and shooting up schools are almost always of the Republican mindset. And they're the ones who don't want any kind of gun regulation. Let our crazy people be crazy. What happened to Donald Trump shouldn't happen to anybody. But I'm not going to be here and say that I give a fuck whether he lives or dies. I do not. He is not a family member. I care less about the man. Yeah. I don't want him harmed, but I will lose zero sleep when it's time for him to meet his maker. I keep it a buck. Just like he would lose no sleep if I meet my maker. There is nothing that attaches me to this man. And vice versa. Now, you guys don't seem to understand, many of these MAGA minions that is, that this man is trying his best to save this country in his mind. It is the MAGA crazies against the Republican crazies. And they want to include us. I'm getting tired of this both sides and bullshit. I've been watching the news throughout the day. Both sides need to tamper down. Fuck you. We don't need to tamper down shit. We ain't said shit. We ain't did shit. We ain't asked for shit. It's Donald Trump over there talking about he hates Taylor Swift. You know the batshit crazy MAGA minions are loaded up right now in their little dark areas talking about when's the next time she's going to be live. We're going to at least throw out a bomb threat or something so that she can't make any money. You know they are. All she did say is that you guys decide to vote for whomever you want, but I'm backing Kamala Harris, and people out here burning shit.
Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris, and I'm done. I don't want to be a childless cat lady like her.
This
you really love the cats? You want to let the migrants eat them as pets. That's why I'm replacing all my stuff with end the wokeness stuff.
Jesus Christ. This is like influencer shit right here. This is influencer
Talk about I ain't
shit.
going to your
That's
concert anymore, acting a fucking fool. You done paid for it. You like the music. You give a shit who she votes for. It's the music that you love. But your hate is stronger than your love for music.
How much you want to make a bet that lady wasn't a Taylor Swift fan? How much you want to make a bet she went and bought all that shit? Dude, you should go back and look. I wonder, dude, I probably couldn't discern it just by looking at the video. But I wonder if that shirt was new, that book was new, and those records were new. I bet you money, because this is what it is nowadays. This is one of the things I've learned about content creation, is how much of what gets put on the internet is fake bullshit for grifting. This is like, I guarantee you that that person wasn't even a Taylor Swift fan. I bet they went and bought all that shit. There's a nice house behind them. I bet they got plenty of money. I bet they went and bought all that shit, burned it in the front there. They're never Taylor Swift fans. And that they just did it for more subscribers, more views, and to grift off that shit. Because it's the easiest shit to grift off. I bet you that's exactly what that was. I'd put money on that.
She votes for, it's the music that you love. But your hate is stronger than your love for music. Not enough that she makes music that makes you feel something, makes you feel good, that she has to vote the same way or you get rid of her. You see how MAGA minions are crazy as fuck? They don't even notice it. They just think it's normal. It's not. But it's Donald Trump normal. There's more people out here that are like that batshit crazy dude than we would like to admit. But regardless, here's the thing. Donald Trump has pissed off his own people that are deciding to get rid of the cancer that is Donald Trump. That's on y'all's side. I'm not even going to attempt to tell anybody else to tamper down
They're
anything.
falling off, DJ.
I'm going 100% the same way
where
I've
they
been
are.
going. Because ain't nobody tried to assassinate Donald Trump based off of anything that we say. Because everything we say is fucking factual. And if he gets harmed because of the facts, then so be it. You don't hold back the facts. The hell is that? Oh, some crazy person learns the facts and wants to take him out. He shouldn't have did what the fuck he did. So the crazy person wouldn't be after him. Like you can control crazy people. I can sit here and say he's a rapist. Ain't none of y'all tried to harm him because he's a rapist. You can say he done broke the law and been a fraudster and a grifter. Ain't nobody out there trying to get him for that. Y'all out here talking about I'm going to vote for a felon. Yeah. They're trying to get him because he did something personal to them. He has destroyed their party, and they so batshit crazy, they turning inside themselves trying to eliminate the cancer that's within. And if you haven't heard yet, MAGA minions, the cancer that's trying to kill the Republican Party, that has successfully done it to many degrees, is Donald Trump. To me, it
100%.
seems like that these people are trying to apply chemo and cure the problem instead of waiting for it to die on its own. I speak facts. Straight facts. No chaser. Fuck your feelings.
That's my man. All right. You know what? That right there, I don't see any way to end this show better than that. That's my dude. That is my brother from another mother. All right? Right there. The dude that is straight facts, no chaser. That's him right here, just so you guys know. Oh, no, that's Robert Reich. But you guys can actually, Robert Reich is also awesome. It doesn't like that my ad blocker's on right now. Oh, did I put the right one? No, I didn't. Okay, that's Robert Reich. You guys can go to that one, too. There you go. Both of those chats are good. Both those channels are great. Robert Reich is amazing. Yeah, I don't see any place better to end the show than right there, because you know what, guys, I love balance. I like to laugh a lot. I think that's why a lot of you guys are here, is to have a good time, make jokes and shit like that. But I also like to speak honestly. I think that there's a lot of jokes when you tell the truth, right? I think that's a big part of it. Being honest oftentimes can be very funny. And that's why I think people like Straight Facts No Chaser, they reach me on a level that it feels like we are simpatico. And that's because the dude, he tells the goddamn truth. And we sit up here a lot of times and we have to say to ourselves, and this is something that's very specific to the left. It's not very specific to the right. In fact, you never see it on the right. But we sit up here and we say things like, we don't want to make things worse. We don't want to make the problem any badder for we don't want anybody to be harmed. We don't want anybody to have a bad life. We don't want anybody to feel bad. But the thing is that the left has done that for so long that I've said this before, that it's like a domestic violence relationship. It's like you've been abused for so long that anytime you speak up, they go, "Oh, you're doing that thing again." And you go, "Oh shit, I am. I'm sorry." But the honest truth is exactly what he just said. And that is, at the end of the day, I don't hope Donald Trump gets shot. I don't want political violence to become a part of the United States of America's governmental system. I don't think that that's a positive thing to happen. But if Donald Trump died tomorrow from non-political violence, it wouldn't affect me at all. Because if I died tomorrow, it wouldn't affect Donald Trump at all. He doesn't give a shit about me. He doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't care about Springfield, Ohio, or people's pets. I don't think Donald Trump could even get close to a dog. I think even a dog would be like, get the fuck away from me. I know who you are. I know what you do. The both sides bullshit is insane. It's insane. When people say, you don't like us saying these things about Kamala, but you say these things about Trump. No, the things that we say about Trump are true. He's a 34-time convicted felon. He is a person that was found liable for sexually abusing a woman and lost millions of dollars to her in a defamation suit, who went on a town hall days after losing that defamation suit and continued to defame her. Donald Trump is a serial compulsive liar. He makes things up constantly. He is a person that attempted to overturn a legitimate election, a person that asked people to involve themselves in treasonous acts against the U.S. government. This is not a both sides subject. This isn't George Bush versus Bill Clinton. This isn't Mitt Romney versus Bill Clinton. Or, I'm sorry, Barack Obama. A long time ago, you might have said, all politicians do the same thing. They all sell you this dream, and then they get in, and they don't do shit. But even that's not true. If you're actually politically literate, you can look at what people do when they get into office, and you can see that the left has actually always done a lot more legislatively than the right has. But even if you want to play that game, it was a lot closer together. It's not anymore. Now what we have is a person who is a vile human being, a person that would overturn the results of an election to get himself put into power, and that I guarantee you, if he would have been put in power, would not have let go of it, versus a person that is a career prosecutor, a person who has fought for consumer rights, a person who has created programs for drug offenders and criminals to help to reduce recidivism. You've got a person that's talking about hope and positivity and moving forward, a person who picked a vice president that wants to talk about staying out of people's business, letting people do the things that make them happy, be a good person and help your neighbor. You got those two versus people that are literally taking stories from X and creating hate, anger, and fear to drive people to vote for them so that way they can hang on to power. There is no both sides here. One side are vile human beings that are doing anything to steal your money. And the other side wants to turn the fucking page. Wants women to have rights. Wants LGBT people to have rights. They want you to not be racist against immigrants. Both sides are not the same. It's not the same. All right, guys. What does it say? Keep it a buck. I'm split this election. It vexes me because I'm a New Yorker born and bred and know what kind of person Trump is, but to me, Kamala isn't any better. I can sit here and argue any of those points you want, Trinidad, but it's not the same. This isn't the same. Like I said, if you want to debate Romney, Barack Obama, I'll do that with you. I'll sit there with you, but it's not the same. That both sides bullshit is almost more irritating than Trumpers, to be honest with you, dude. Because it just, if you, what do you believe about Kamala Harris, Jay? What do you believe about Kamala that makes you think, I'll stay on for an extra 10 minutes. I'll have a discussion. What do you believe about Kamala Harris that you think makes her a bad candidate for the United States president? What do you believe about her, Trinidad? I'll tell you what, while we do this, we'll watch this this K-View video and if you want to have a conversation, I'll have a conversation with you, Trinidad.
A second round of explosions in Lebanon killed at least 14 more people, injured over 400 others. ABC's Perry Russum has the latest on this second attack.
Today, another round of electronics exploding in Lebanon. This time, devices including walkie-talkies blowing up. ABC's Marcus Moore in Beirut, only feet away from one of the blasts.
Crowds had just gathered for the funeral. And
people should look at this too. When people say that they believe that America is a shithole country, people believe America is in decline, and then they see things like this, how do you make that right in your mind? That this is what Donald Trump tells you America is becoming. Okay, Kamala Harris, I believe she bent the knee to an Israel Zionist just like Biden. So you understand that as a vice president that people believe that Kamala Harris is actually much more progressive than Joe Biden and that she would not have followed probably the same things as Joe Biden. However, she would have supported Israel because we are allied with Israel. You understand that like the president doesn't have... You can say they have the power to deny sending weapons over to Israel, but you do understand that if we were to say ostracize Israel, we would push them into the arms of somebody like Iran or the Middle East, right? Like you do understand that, right? That like a president doesn't have the type of wiggle room that people believe they have. Like you're like, they can just stand on the fact that they can just tell Israel no. You know that we're like entrenched in Israel as far as like economics go, as far as like trade agreements go, as far as like things like if you think like the economy is bad, the economy would be a lot worse if we shit on our allies and didn't support them. So I'll speak to a couple of these things. But you know that she has no ability as vice president to influence that policy, right? You understand that those are Joe Biden's policies and that most people believe that actually Kamala Harris and her policies when it comes to Israel would have been a lot less lenient when it comes to Bibi. Policies in her own jurisdiction. I live in California. I'm from her jurisdiction. Similar to broken windows, stop and frisk. Stop and frisk... So as far as when you talk about the problems in her jurisdiction, you need to be a little bit less reductive. Just saying like stop and frisk. Stop and frisk is something that was across the nation. It was something that that she didn't influence. As a district attorney, let's put this in here. Here we go. Let's do this. Because as far as I understand, she could not do that. Because we'll get to the point that you're trying to make as soon as I Google this. A Zodiac Killer. They're going to blame the Zodiac Killer on her. That's great. Oh, God. Stop it. No, stop it. Why does everybody want me to turn off my ad blocker? Here we go. This is from Kamala Harris. What? It's a deep state. It's a deep state, guys. It's a deep state. Okay. Let's talk about like what you're trying to talk about here, because I don't think that she ever had. She supported it. I would have to look into that. Just because it's across the United States doesn't mean she had to vocally support it. As far as what you're trying to get at, you're trying to get at her. Oh, here we go. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll turn my fucking ad blocker off. Holy shit, right now everything's like, turn your ad blocker off. No one likes my ad blocker, apparently. Okay, there. Jesus Christ, YouTube.
Prime Big Deal Days is coming.
This is from 4 years ago.
Deals and feel like a big deal.
This is what they wanted me to watch.
Your reaction to Mayor Bloomberg apologizing for endorsing stop and frisk policies? Do you think the timing of that is opportunistic?
Well, I think he was right to acknowledge that stop and frisk was a horrible.
So you're saying that she supports it, but here's a video of her saying that it was a horrible, horrible idea. She's saying it was a horrible policy. I'm going to let you listen to that one more time.
Bloomberg apologizing for endorsing stop and frisk policies. Do you think the timing of that is opportunistic?
What up, Terminal Mode?
Well, I think he was right to acknowledge that stop and frisk was a horrible policy. That essentially, not essentially, it explicitly.
Terminal, you made a amazing video, Terminal. I just want you to know that. Yeah. Well, I'm happy you stopped in. If anybody wasn't here to watch Terminal Mode's video, please go to Terminal Mode's channel and subscribe and like and share that video. Yeah, it was a dope video, a very dope video. To get back to Trinidad. So I want you to watch this one more time, Trinidad, and then explain to me what she's saying here.
Timing of that is opportunistic.
Yeah, you can email me, Diane. ProgressiveMatters3 at gmail.com.
Policy that essentially, not essentially.
Good job, Terminal Mode.
In particular, young men of color, in particular, black men, and you know that I know. Because I have family members who have had that experience over and over again, and what that does to traumatize people. You know, it is one of the most degrading things that somebody can experience, to be pulled over and told to drop to their knees, put their hands on their back, when they've done nothing. And so he's right to apologize.
I don't need to go look at her policies, Trinidad. I literally live. I have lived in her jurisdiction. I know her policies. I bet I know more about her policies than you do. What policies are you attempting to say? You understand that the majority of the things that people talk about, like the 1,500 people that they say that she put in jail, you know that she did not, right? You know that that was Tulsi Gabbard taking the state of California and putting it under her jurisdiction as the district attorney of San Francisco. You know that under those 1,500 people, only 45 of those people went to prison, and they went to prison because they had bigger felonies than possession of marijuana. You know that the majority of people in those 1,500 people that they brought up that she supposedly prosecuted, which once again, not even all of them are in her jurisdiction, were actually put in rehabilitation programs. She's the one who created the program that reduced recidivism from 50% to 10%. She has programs that are used across the United States of America to rehabilitate felons. The people that she prosecuted were people that had gun crimes. Do you support gun crimes, Jay Trinidad? Do I support her anti-prison abolitionist ways? Oh, which policies do you want? Do you want me to talk about the policies she's running on now, or do you want me to talk about the policies that I'm talking about from being the district attorney of San Francisco or the attorney general of California? Because we can talk about all the things that she did as attorney general of California. We can talk about the fact that she sued Comcast for $58 million. $58 million to protect the privacy of Comcast customers. You can talk about the fact that she sued Corinthian colleges for $1.1 billion because they were taking advantage of people and saying that they could get them jobs that they couldn't get them. You could take the fact that she sued Chase, the banks, and won millions of dollars for predatory loans that were used against people that couldn't afford to have them, that later had to foreclose on homes and lost their entire livelihood to it. What part do you want to talk about? Let's talk about the fact that she literally prosecuted people for gun felonies. That's what she prosecuted people. She just literally said stop and frisk was a terrible policy, but you told me that she supports it. What else would you like to talk about? The DNA? Would you like to talk about the guy that you guys all say that she kept the DNA from evidence from being allowed in his trial? On his 13th appeal, she decided to not allow evidence for a man who had lost 12 appeals, that there is literal video evidence of a eyewitness, a kid that survived the attack, that talks about it. And guess what? That DNA evidence was allowed, because after they put out the alternative theories as to who could have committed that crime, she said, I think it was a mistake. They should allow that evidence to be introduced. They allowed the evidence to be introduced, and all it did was solidify that, yes, indeed, that man killed those people. Like, which policy would you like to talk about, Trinidad? I mean, this is the problem with these conversations, is that you say, I don't like this person because of X, but you don't provide an example. You said stop and frisk, but here I pull up a video where she says that stop and frisk was a horrible policy. And Bloomberg saying that they shouldn't do it. I don't even think stop and frisk was allowed in California. I guess it could be by county, right? I guess it'd have to be by San Francisco. Yes, California laws allow police to conduct stop, also known as, that's actually, it's allowed now. Was stop and frisk allowed in San Francisco? Or I guess the question would be, did Kamala Harris support it? Here you go. Jesus Christ, why will it not bring up anything on this? I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'll do you a favor. I will look into this more at one point. I'm not going to look at the Epoch Times. I would need to look into who she was and what she did. Trinidad, you got to give me more to work with than that stop and frisk is a terrible policy. That is like, or I know AJ said that, but I agree with you that stop and frisk is a terrible policy. But you're literally saying Kamala Harris supported stop and frisk, and that's as bad as a person who's been convicted of 34 felonies, a person that has been held liable for sexual abuse of a woman, a person that literally tried to overturn an election through nefarious means by getting his vice president open a alternative slate of electors, a person whose entire policy is cut regulations, which have led to things like banks almost going under again, cut regulations, which have led to train wrecks because they don't have to follow safety policies, cut regulations, which are going to lead to potential environmental impacts that are going to lead to my children having to grow up in a place that is polluted to the point that they can't drink water. Okay. Well, no, you're saying, well, hold on, Trinidad. I'm trying to do my best because this is kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to have a conversation with a person in chat because you don't get to have the chance to speak as like I do, right? So let me first make that acknowledgement that this is a tough conversation to have with a person in chat because sometimes, obviously, I misread the things you are saying, and sometimes you don't respond in time to my fucking motor mouth as well. So this is what I'm saying. Later, DJ. Have a good night. What I'm saying is you say you're split on who to vote for, right? Am I right when I say that you're saying you're split on who to vote for? I do not believe that it is a both sides argument. Like I said, you could have arguments about former politicians. I would have even argued with you in 2016 about Trump versus Hillary, right? Like I would have definitely said that during that point that you had a point of view that was valid. But in 2024, I've said this before, and that is that there is no way, shape, or form that anybody should want to vote for Trump specifically based off of his attempt to overturn the election results in 2020. But if you want to like have a discussion about policy, then we can also talk about policy, because I've made that the point in my channel, to not make personal attacks against Donald Trump, to not point out the things like his awkward relationship with his daughter, to not point out like his sexual assault of women, you know, his racism when it came to the Central Park Five, and his father not renting to black families. Like I stay away from all of that stuff, right? And instead, I try to make my arguments on policy so that way people understand I'm trying to be the best faith that I can. So the reason that I think Kamala Harris is a better candidate than Donald Trump is because, A, Joe Biden has been an incredibly successful president. Most people don't agree with that on the right because most people on the right don't read legislation. Things like the Infrastructure Act, things like the Inflation Reduction Act, things like the PACT Act, things like the bipartisan gun legislation that he pushed through, and things like the Chips and Science Act are actually all very good for the future. They brought back a bunch of middle-class jobs. The Chips and Science Act is going to possibly bring, I think it's something like 500,000 chip manufacturer jobs back to America, where we can get ourselves out of the Taiwan-China conflict. Then any reason that we want to go over and help Taiwan will be strictly humanitarian and not because we have to protect them, because if we don't protect them, we will lose access to the high-end processors that we need from them because they process something like 90+% of them. Donald Trump's policies are fast food isolationist policies. Build a wall around America, charge everybody in America tariff money because you don't charge China tariffs. People in China don't pay tariffs. People in America pay tariffs. If you want to get into the policy of it, that's the big thing. Trust you're from NYC, Brooklyn. You know the dude's a piece of shit, but when I view an election, because like you said, presidents don't really have supreme power, contrary to Trump wants, I want more. So you view it as party versus party. Kamala and Trump both have faults, but obviously Trump is worse. The Democrats and an independent, their weaknesses do what have to be done disgust me. They allowed Trump to stack the course whenever they have a bill they can pass that they could give to. Yeah, okay, so Trinidad. Let's find middle ground there. So first of all, just so you know, I'm a registered independent. I am not a Democrat, even though because of what's going on in today's society with Trump, it makes me very much lean left because I'm trying to lean towards sanity, right? I do agree with you, but I also disagree with you, being the independent I am and the fence sitter that sometimes I do become. I do believe that the left during Clinton's administration and during Obama's administration gave too much to reach across the aisle, to enrich corporations, to make people okay with what they did so that way they could get those votes. Now, yes, you do see Kamala Harris reaching across that aisle right now and attempting to pick up those conservative votes. I do applaud that right now because I think it's the right thing to do, but I don't think it's just the right thing to do for her to get elected, but I do actually legitimately believe that we need some type of unity in this country of the sane people. I do think that there are right-wing conservatives that I may disagree with on policy, but they are still sane people and they don't want anything to do with MAGA. So I know that we get to this point in today's day and age where we're saying things like, you know, Trump is Hitler. Trump, if he gets in, he'll never, give up, all of those things. And I do think those things are pertinent, right? But I think what's even more pertinent is the mental illness that is prevalent within MAGA. That is my concern. Donald Trump to me is not the main character. Donald Trump is just he's just a piece that is going to be used to push forward this Project 2025 bullshit. I actually legitimately believe Donald Trump has no fucking idea what's in Project 2025. It just happens that he aligns with all of those things. I think Donald Trump is the type of guy that goes, yeah, whatever you say, I don't need to read that document. I just click the user agreement. I'm good to go. Whatever you guys say, you're going to vote for me? Fuck yeah, I'll do what you say. What I'm concerned about with Donald Trump is his use of Schedule F. If he fires people within the administrative wing and he restructures the FBI and CIA and he puts in cronies that he believes that are going to be the people that will agree with him, well, we've already seen what Donald Trump does when he gets to hire people. He does a really shitty job of hiring people. So a lot of what I'm concerned about with Donald Trump is the future impact of America. Like I said, a lot of his policies are really super isolationist. Like, you can't pull out of Taiwan. You can't do that without something like the Chips and Science Act. We have to defend Taiwan. If we don't defend Taiwan, we lose access to 70% of the chips that we produce or that we need, which are the ones that are in your cars, the ones that are in your cell phones, the ones that are in your TVs, your HVAC system. And then we also lose access to 90% of the high-end semiconductors, which are like for hypersonic missiles, supercomputers, AI, right? So we can't have this isolationist policy that says we're not going to support Taiwan if they go into a war in China. The same reasons that we have to support Ukraine. Whether you like that our money's going over there or not, giving Ukraine to Russia creates these incredibly bad situations for America on the world stage. Donald Trump wants to do a bunch of things that are very isolationist that will look really good for the 4 years that he's in office. But over time, they'll start to get worse and worse for America. They will degrade our relationships with our foreign allies. We'll get to a point where we have something that actually happens in America and our allies will no longer want to support us because we didn't support them during like some kind of engagement, which is very likely during Trump's administration with everything that's going on. My problem with Trump, and the reason that I don't think that it's a question between Trump and Kamala, is that Trump wants to be isolationist and Kamala wants to continue to work with our allies on the world stage, which is going to become more and more important. I do get your point. I 100% understand your point. And I think that the left gives in to the right way too often. But my hope is that Kamala Harris is going to be a more common sense president, that though she may reach across the aisle on certain things to get things done, some of the things that she did as the district attorney in San Francisco, some of the things she did as the attorney general in California, I don't know a ton about her Senate record, but the things that I do know about are her time as attorney general and district attorney were progressive. Like, I know people want to make her out to be this prosecutor that put people that smoked weed in prison, but that's just not true. It literally is verifiably and factually not true. And she actually created programs to help these people get better, because I'm against the prison complex. I'm against privatized prisons. I'm against the industrial prison complex. I think that there's a time and place for certain people that have to go to prison because they can't exist in society because they're fucked up and they'll never be, capable of living in society. That might be true. But I believe the majority of people that go to prison become worse criminals. And I think that Kamala Harris supports that. I know that Kamala Harris is anti-death penalty. I'm actually pro-death penalty for people that commit crimes against children or people that are incapable of ever going back into society. But I could be convinced that I'm wrong. I could be convinced on that I'm wrong. And I think that Kamala Harris being against the death penalty is a very progressive thing. I think that's very important. I got to ask you, man, are you more globalism or isolationism? I'm both. Yeah. So you gotta, I don't know how long you've watched my channel, Trinidad, but I'm a person that believes in balance. The reason that I'm a registered independent is because I do believe that there are times that you have to give. And I believe that that's mostly because our society is made up of this like diverse amount of people. And you can't have a country that is just strictly one way or the other. I wish that like my progressive values are my most important values. I believe in equity. I believe in diversity. I believe in equality. I believe in women's rights. I believe in LGBT rights. I believe in BIPOC rights. I believe in helping people. But I believe that you can't help others until you've helped yourself. So when you say globalism or isolationism, the Chips and Science Act, as people have pointed out to me multiple times, the Chips and Science Act is an isolationist policy. And I believe 100% in it. It's one of my favorite policies. But I also believe that the world is getting closer and closer to being this competition between allied countries. And on one side, you have the European alliance, the American alliance with Europe, the American alliance with, like the Germany, the UK, the Britain, because I guess Britain isn't part of what is it? It's Brexit. They Brexited. What is it called? The EU Union, right? Anyways. With Taiwan, with Japan, I believe that on one side you can have that. On the other side, you have what people term the axis of evil, and that is Iran, Israel, Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, and a lot of other little like countries sprinkled here and there. I think that warfare is going to become what you're seeing, what's happening to Hezbollah right now with fucking pagers being detonated and walkie-talkies blowing up. I don't think that wars will be what you see in Ukraine and Russia anymore. I think it's going to be a lot of infrastructure warfare, a lot of trade agreement, a lot of attempting to keep resources from each other. So I think you have to have global relationships, because as far as how resource-rich America is, it still doesn't have everything that we need. So those relationships with our allies are going to be incredibly important. Me and He Hurts should have that debate sometime for sure. Yeah, I don't think that we should be completely globalist in any way, shape, or form. I think that we need alliances, and I think that we need to be globalist. But like I said about us as individuals, America has to take care of America, so that way America can take care of other countries. And I know that everybody gets really hype on that, and they're like, we got to take care of our veterans and all this stuff. But a lot of people don't understand the statistics that surround homelessness. Homelessness is, the majority of homeless people are mentally ill people. There's tons of evidence around the fact that like some of these people get checks that they never pick up because they don't care. They're mentally ill. They don't live in the same reality. So when you say things like we need to put more money into these things, I agree. But a lot of these programs and stuff that they actually create for the homeless end up not being anything that affects the homeless, because the homeless are not homeless because they choose to be homeless, or I'm sorry, because they've been pushed into be homeless, because they choose to be homeless because they're mentally ill. You know, everything is so complicated. This is why everything needs a multifaceted explanation. Everything needs a complex plan to deal with it. And I hate the reductivism of our society, where we say things like we can't help the Ukraine because we have veterans here that need to be taken care of. It's not that simple. It's really reductive, because if we don't help Ukraine, then there's a bunch of cascading effects from that. If we don't help veterans in our country, there's a lot of cascading effects from that. It's a very complicated situation that most voters on both sides want to kind of reduce down to. It's just as easy. You do this thing. And it's not. It never will be. Renee says it right. It will be an infrastructure war. 100%. People believe that China will invade America. People believe that immigrants coming across the border are actually operatives that are going to infiltrate our society, and then there's going to be a ground war. It's not going to be a ground war. That's it. Look, if anybody wanted to annihilate another country, it would be a nuclear war. It is the end-all option. They shoot nukes, we shoot nukes, everybody dies. Ground wars are not the future, and you're seeing it now. Ground wars are espionage. Ground wars are misinformation. Oh, I'm sorry, ground wars. The future wars. Future wars are espionage. Future wars are misinformation. And we're losing that war, by the way. We're losing the misinformation war. Russia is winning this shit right now because we're even having this conversation. Well, actually, we're having this conversation, and that is defending against the misinformation. But we're having this conversation because Russia's winning that war. They are doing the right things. They don't have the populace. They don't have the economy to support the Ukrainian war, much less one against America. Instead, they're going to fuck with our infrastructure. They're going to fuck with our people. They're going to provide misinformation, and they're going to let us kill each other. Trinidad says, of course, it's not our allies. We have to defend them. But at the same time, they're breaking the same laws we help establish. We made these laws, and they're breaking them. Don't disagree. I think that there's things that in the Ukraine need to be handled, but those things should be handled politically. And unfortunately, just like I keep saying this, and that is Trump is our main issue right now, because Trump sucks up all the attention and oxygen in the room, and it doesn't allow us to have conversations about things like what we can do about Ukraine if we defend Ukraine successfully. how do we deal with the corruption in Ukrainian politics, right? Like, that should be the next question. It shouldn't be, wait, yay, mission accomplished. We defended Ukraine. There's no corruption in Ukraine. Yay, we win. No, the next question is, okay, now how do we provide infrastructure in a place like Ukraine to make things better for them so that way you don't have as much corruption in their government, right? Like, that's also how we stop a lot of the immigration problems. There are immigration problems. There are people coming from Central and Southern American countries that are running from their countries because their countries are in decline. They're actually in decline. We're not. They are. That's why they're coming here. So we need to have these bigger conversations, which is what Kamala Harris did. Kamala Harris went to these other countries. She helped to establish trade agreements. She helped to provide help with their infrastructure, and she reduced the amount of immigration coming from those other countries. That was what she was actually tasked to do, and she did accomplish that. China's economy is tied with ours like a knot. Yeah, I would like us, and I don't even know if this is true, I would rather that we are currently attached to India than China, but I don't want to be attached to either in a way that creates the type of lifelong relationship that we can't get out of. But the problem with that is America is addicted to cheap products. People keep saying they want to buy American, buy American, buy American, but then they also at the same time say they can't afford groceries. They also say at the same time that they can't afford, to buy amenities and all these other things. It's Americans that are gouging Americans. China's selling you cheap shit. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely losing the misinformation war. Yeah. So I'll tell you what. It's tiring. It is, Trinidad. I feel you. Like, I mean, what did I say? I said I was going to get off how long ago, right? I said I was going to hop off, almost an hour ago, 40 minutes ago. But I sit here and I want to have this conversation with you, Trinidad, because I don't think you mean bad. I don't think you're a dumb person. I don't think that you're a cultist, and those are the people I can't have conversations with, right? So I'm still on here talking to you because this is what needs to happen in society. I'm in a place where my career provides for me financially. My career provides for me. I live the American dream. I came from no running water, no electricity, being chased home from school by skinheads in Peckerwoods, from getting fucking bullied and beat up, shitting in a 5-gallon bucket, carrying it to a trash can at 2 a.m. and dumping it, living in fucking a place where the motels burnt down twice from methamphetamines, living in Slav City and Nyland. All of those things, I came from that, and I worked my way through the American system because of social safety nets, because of a support structure, because of people that got to the place that I'm at now that helped me out. I got here because of that, and I'm trying to pay it forward. I want to have conversations with people because I want to help. I don't want to tell you who to vote for, but I do want to tell you, I don't think that Donald Trump is even close to the answer. And I'm not saying that. I see what you're saying about your friend being Haitian. I hear that, Trinidad. My best friend was half black, and I grew up around skinheads, dude. We used to punch skinheads in the face, you know? Like, people used to call him an Oreo, black on the outside, white on the inside. I grew up with real racism. Dudes with swastikas on their face. I used to play football with a dude at a park, and he had a swastika from his nipples to his fucking dick root, you know? Like, that shit, like, it appalls me. And I've literally stood up physically to these people with my best friend. So I feel what you're saying. But that's also why I stand against Trump. But I'm not even trying to make that argument. I'm not trying to make the racism argument. I'm making the argument that Donald Trump is bad for America. Donald Trump using Schedule F to mass eliminate jobs within the government and get rid of people that have been working there 10, 20, 30 years. We're not talking about AOC. We're not talking about Ted Cruz. We're not talking about, James Comer or Jamie Raskin. We're talking about your fucking, auntie. We're talking about your cousin. We're talking about your brother, your sister, your mom, your father. You're talking about people that are close to retirement. These are normal people in the administrative wing of our government. These aren't they call them the deep state. If you guys don't know, when they say the deep state, they mean the administrative wing of our government. Those aren't bad people. They're not politicians. They're people that go to work and work like you and me, and Donald Trump wants to be able to mass fire them and then literally replace them with the tens of thousands of people that have been recruited through YouTube, through Project 2025's website. They want to replace your auntie who's 5 years from getting retirement. They want to fire her and replace her with some dude that watched a YouTube video that answered a bunch of questions that said he's a Trump loyalist. If you think the government don't work now, imagine what you're going to get when you replace people that have worked in the government for 10, 20, 30 years with people that have never done the goddamn job that they recruited off of YouTube. You see what I'm saying? It's just, there is no comparison between what you're going to get from Kamala Harris and what you're going to get from Donald Trump. Kamala Harris represents most likely a moderate Democrat, almost establishment, but moderate Democrat point of view with the potential for some real progressive values, like reworking the prison system, like helping families get homes, like helping small businesses with $50,000 in tax credits. Now, I'm not saying to you that Kamala Harris is going to do all these things. I'm saying she represents the hope of it being done. And I've said this before, right? Is that when this channel, if Kamala Harris wins the election, this channel ain't going to be a Dick Wright or Kamala Harris channel. It's going to be a hold Kamala Harris accountable channel. I don't vote for people and then just wash my hands. I'm not a cult member. I don't look at the people that I support. I don't look at Joe Biden and support the 94 crime bill. I look at Joe Biden and support what he's done in the last 4 years, but there's plenty of stuff in Joe Biden's career that I don't support. I'm not a cult member. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference. And that's what we're fighting right now. We are literally fighting a fight against a cult mentality, or giving a politician a chance to do some things, and if she doesn't do them, hold her accountable. And if she doesn't do them, find somebody else next election and do something about it. That's what we're fighting. Do I think it'll be better under Kamala? So here's one thing that I actually disagree with people, period. Even through Trump's era, the economy has been good. Our economy, since 2011-ish, 12-ish, has been amazing. And it really, if you look at our economy since just the jump to where we are now, so what I do is I look at analytics for a job, right? Like, I run a store. One of my jobs is to look into analytics, so I love statistics. Our economy has been great for a very long time. We've had a couple blips. We had the Great Depression. We had the recession in 2009 when Obama took over for Bush. We had the housing collapse, and then we had COVID. But other than those small portions of time, America's economy has actually been really good. But that does not discount that there are certain portions of our society that still live with the negative effects of capitalism. And that's why I believe that capitalism is a great economic driver. It's great for competition, but is faulty when it comes to taking care of certain portions of our society. And the reason that it is faulty is because we don't hold to account the ultra-wealthy corporations within our society. And one of the people that didn't do that was Barack Obama. Barack Obama, for as much as I like Barack Obama as a president, he was too pro-corporate for me. I don't like what he did. I think that Kamala Harris, because I look at what she's done, so Joe Biden has been the most antitrust president probably in the last 50 years, if not longer. Joe Biden has had antitrust lawsuits against Google, who the right claims is in bed with Joe Biden. They just lost an antitrust lawsuit to the FTC under Joe Biden's administration. He's won them against Google. He's got them against Apple. He's got them against Meta. He's got it against Kroger's, who literally came out and told you guys that they've been price gouging you on milk and eggs. He's got them against NVIDIA. So when you ask, do I think that the economy will be better under her? I think the economy will be better under her for the middle class. I think that the economy for her has the possibility of being better for the lower middle class and the poverty-stricken. I believe those things because I look at the things that she's espousing, the $25,000 to buy a new house, the $50,000 in tax incentives to start new businesses. By the way, under Biden, we've created more new businesses than ever before. I look at the fact that she supports social safety nets and she supports rehab programs to keep people out of prison. Those are all things that I think could be really good for the lower middle class and for the poverty-stricken. By the way, I'm considered upper middle class because with me and my wife's yearly wages combined, we're considered just in the upper middle class. So this doesn't benefit me. I don't see her as benefiting me. I don't see Kamala Harris as being great for me financially. I see Kamala Harris as being good for America. And if it's good for America, then it's good for me because your success is my success and my success is your success. You'd vote for a racist, though, if he can put that racism aside and do a good job. I did it with Biden. He's not. Yeah. I don't knock you for saying that, right? What I think is the problem with that statement, and I've actually said something very similar to that before, right? Like, when I try to hire people, I try to hire good people. So, but I'm not hiring people to the president of the United States. So if you're like going to war, like if World War III was real, you wouldn't hire Donald Trump, just so you know. Donald Trump would be the worst person to elect to do anything about World War III. He is the worst person to elect. I mean, like out of all the candidates. You could have put fucking Vivek in there and he'd be better. Barely, but probably better. But you want the right person. So I understand what you're saying for sure, Trinidad. I get what you're saying. At the end of the day, you just feel like presidents truly don't give a fuck about us at the end of the day. So which one is going to do a better job? I just want to say this, but I try not to vote with morality in mind. No, I like Trinidad. I'm not knocking you for the things you're saying. I think you're speaking honestly about the things you believe. And I'm also thinking that you're speaking something that the American citizenry has felt for a very long time, and that is a supreme distrust for our government to actually do the things that they say that they will do. One of the silver linings to what is going on right now is you look at Trump and he's promising everything. You look at Kamala and she's promising everything, right? Like they both know that right now they better be the candidate that says they'll do the most or they're going to lose the vote. And what you need to do and what every voter needs to do right now is grasp that power. Understand that right now you have more power as a voter than you've ever had before. These motherfuckers are literally, they're like Oprah up there. You get a tax cut. You get a tax cut. I'm getting rid of the income tax. We're getting rid of taxes on tips. We're going to give you health care. We're going to drop debt. But the real question comes after the election. Once you vote a person in, do you hold them accountable? Do you become an activist? Do you muckrake? Do you start a YouTube channel and hold these motherfuckers accountable? That's what you got to do. And the difference for me is I think that I have the ability to hold somebody like Kamala Harris accountable. A, because Kamala Harris is a person that I think has values that are closer to mine. B, because she has a second term that she's going to want to be elected to. And C, I really do think that our government has gotten better because of diversity. Too many people, in my opinion, look back at the Cold War era government, which was literally nothing but old white men. And they say, look at the example of that government and what our government is willing to do to us to get ahead. And I go, no disagreement. Those old white men all had the same values. They all had the same goals. They all had the same connections, the same wealth, the same status. But this is why I support diversity. is because our government, specifically on the left, has become more diverse. You have people of color. You have women. You have old people. You have young people. You have people that were bartenders, and you have people that have been in politics for 40 or 50 years. And in my opinion, the reason our government is better and more trustworthy than it was during the Cold War is because we are more diverse. But I can tell you that's only on one side of the aisle. Take a look at the next State of the Union address. Take a look at the left and look at who's over there. And you'll see Puerto Ricans. You'll see African Americans. Shit, you'll see Palestinians. You'll see Arab Americans. You'll see women. You'll see men. You'll see funny hair colors. Shit, you might one day see fucking tattoo face. How you get face tattoo. And when you look at the right, I want you to recognize something. There's one Hispanic. There's one woman. There's one gay person. Because on the right, you're just a token. You're just a token on that side of the aisle. And I don't specifically hate all these conservative politicians. There's a couple of them that I don't mind. But what I do hate is their lack of inclusion, the lack of diversity. Dude, you're not telling me anything new with that. You're right on the money. I felt like such a filler when I didn't vote in the Eric Adams. Yeah. Hey, Trinidad, I didn't vote in the 2016 election because I had your mentality, right? Like, I'm new to this, man. I'm new to this. Some people don't understand. I've only been doing this for 2 years on this channel, and I never started this channel to be political. I started this channel to laugh at people that thought that Joe Biden was a skin suit. I started this channel to, like, laugh at Jewish space lasers and just, like, point out hypocrisy and think shit was funny. And a year and a half ago, I probably would agree with you with almost everything about both sides. But because of this channel, because of the people that have supported you, because of the people that have held me accountable, the people that have came on here and said, like you said, did Kamala Harris support stop and frisk? Now that's something that's in my brain that I got to figure out. I don't know. I can't find it with a quick Google, so I'm going to have to look more into it. But because you guys have forced me to become better educated, because you have pushed back against my ideals, because you have made it more important to me to be correct, to not just feel like I'm right, but to be correct, I have become a better educated person on these things. I grew up in a trailer park, man. People thought I was going to be in prison. No one thought I'd be on a fucking channel, like in front of a camera talking to people. People thought I was going to be in prison, and they were right. I did a lot of dumb shit in my life. There's definitely things I did that should have put me in prison, but instead I'm here. The only politician I've seen that I genuinely thought gave a fuck about us sidelined by the Democrats, Bernie fucking Sanders. Yeah, Trinidad, I feel you. I love Bernie. I love Bernie, man. I loved Bernie getting up at the DNC and calling them out. But here's what I love about Bernie. Bernie stood up there and he said, we need to get money out of politics, and he didn't stop there. He didn't just stop there. He could have. He could have been a bootlicker. If he was in MAGA, he would have been a bootlicker. But Bernie Sanders said, we need to get money out of politics. And then he said, and we need to get money out of the primaries. He was on stage at a primary where the president had dropped out and the vice president had stepped in to take over the nomination. And he said that shit. He stood up there with the balls of a fucking titan in front of Biden, in front of Clinton, and said, we need to get money out of the primary. I love Bernie Sanders. I love Bernie Sanders for that. Because I know what it's like to be a part of something and not agree with every single thing and have to stand up and tell the honest truth to people and know that some of those people that you're telling it to ain't going to be happy. Ain't going to be happy. And that's what he did. And I love him for that. And a lot of people hate him for that. A lot of Bernie supporters became MAGA supporters because they thought Bernie flipped on them. They felt like Bernie was disloyal to them because they're loyal to him. And when that shit happened with the superdelegates with Hillary, and when that shit happened in the primaries with Biden, they're like, yo, we supported you, dog. Why you do this to us? You're our fucking Jesus. And then they went and found another Jesus. But they went and found a Jesus that's nothing like their Jesus, man. Trump is the opposite of Bernie Sanders, dog. Like, there is nothing in common between Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. I think the best thing that Harris could do right now is offer to give Bernie Sanders a spot. And I know he's a senator and all that shit, and we need him as a senator. We need him for the Senate to it's too close, right? But she could at least offer for him to be important. You know what I'm saying? Trinidad, I bet we're a lot closer than you think in political ideologies. And I bet you money 2 years ago we'd be even closer in what you believe now. But he is, right? Right, Trinidad? He is the opposite. You know, like I said, I'm not up here to tell you who to vote for. I'm not going to tell you to vote for Harris. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell you that, like, these are the reasons that I came to. I fucking love Bernie, dude. Bernie, have you ever seen that picture of Bernie, like, sitting in front of the cop's car with those African Americans, like, fucking in the protest? Show me a picture. Show me a picture of any of these other politicians doing that shit, man. Like I'm with you. We missed our window, and I'll tell you what, it's partially my fault because I didn't vote. So I was like, I like Bernie, but yeah, some of the shit he says is kind of out of this world. Who thinks free college is a good idea? Guess what I do now? I sit on a microphone in front of camera and tell people that I think free college is a good idea. Years ago, I was like, I fell for the bullshit, man. I listened to the talking heads say dumb shit like, you can't do that. They're going to raise your taxes. Aren't you fucking upset? Aren't you? Like, I never did the math. I never realized how much it cost to put one kid through college. I never realized I was going to have kids. Fuck, you think, how much do you think I'm going to pay in taxes to put everybody through college versus how much I'll pay for my 2 kids? I'll pay way more to put my 2 kids through college than I'll ever pay in taxes my entire life. If I pay taxes for the rest of my life to put people through college, I'll never equal the amount of money that I'll pay for my 2 kids to go to college. Never even come close. And I hate myself for that shit, man. I was pissed. Next stream is Saturday, Trinidad. And yeah, I do got to get out. I am voting for Kamala. Because I do, yes. I feel like Kamala offers something that we haven't had. I think Joe Biden did more progressive things than I ever thought he would do. And I am forever grateful for that shit, dude. Joe Biden made some mistakes in his life, but I put Joe Biden in my top 15 for the presidents just because of some of the progressive shit he did over the last 4 years. He helped us avoid a recession, and we're almost back to the inflation that we were at when Trump was the president. Like, that's insane. He did a really good job, man. He did a really good job. And I think Kamala Harris is actually more progressive than Biden. I think that Kamala Harris also has a good head on her shoulders. She's a lot younger. And I also think that she could usher in a time for young people to get involved in what is their world. I think her time in office will be so good for people like AOC to find a good foundation for their beliefs, to get away from the fieriness, the snappy reactions, the Jasmine Crockett's of the world, the AOCs. Like, I want to see those people grow under a good leader. And Donald Trump ain't that person. He just ain't that person. All right, guys. I stayed up here longer than I was supposed to. Trinidad, thank you so much for the conversation. I'm glad you kept me on here. I'm glad you kept me up here. How will she do if her turn ends up like Obama's, where she's president, Democrats have the House, but Republicans own the Senate? That's one of the messed up parts about our current politics is that, unfortunately, there's not going to be a lot that gets done. Executive actions are always a possibility, but that just means that the next president that comes in just rolls them back, just like Trump did with a lot of Obama's policies. It's on us, man. It's on us. People want to blame the government for all their problems, but the reality is, and the thing that hurts the most, is it's on us. We're the ones that got to hold people accountable. We're the ones that got to vote for the right legislations. We're the ones that got to stop saying things like, we're not going to tax corporations because they'll just leave the country. We're the ones that got to stop saying we're not going to support, our cousin that's poor because we don't want to pay a little more tax. I live in California. I'm happy to pay all the taxes I pay. What do I think a president under Kamala looks like with a split Congress? I think it looks a lot like an Obama. I think it looks even worse. Mitch McConnell said he would 100% make sure Obama failed as a president to get anything done. But somehow Obama still got the Affordable Care Act passed. That's fucking amazing. There's millions of people from where I come from that never had insurance that have insurance now. I think she'll still get a couple good things done. I think stuff like her policies on helping first-time buyers for homes, her policies on helping small businesses get tax credits, her talks of what they're going to do with tax cuts as far as the child care tax goes and all that stuff. I think that Republicans that want to get reelected are going to be forced to support her. I also think that at the end of the day, I don't think the Republican Party survives a Kamala Harris election. I think the best thing we can do for conservatives, the best thing conservatives can do for conservatives is to vote for Kamala Harris, so that way they get to have that hard come-to-Jesus talk with MAGA Republicans where they say the hate doesn't work. The threats of violence don't work. The racism doesn't work. And you either work with us or you get the fuck out of my house. That's what the conservatives have to do, but Trump getting elected is not going to push them to do that. If Trump gets elected, he is going to embolden MAGA to go, look, we did it again. Look at, we're the captain now. We're the captain now. That's what happens if Donald Trump wins. Donald Trump wins, conservatives become MAGA Republicans, and we have a long, difficult fight. If the left wins, if Kamala wins, I think there's going to be a split in the Conservative Party, and I think it's a split that's actually going to be good for the Conservative Party in the future. But it's going to be a long, tough road until they get there. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for the conversation. I appreciate it, and this is what I like. A lot of the times the start of these conversations are difficult because they're very tough conversations, specifically in this awkward, clunky way we have to have these conversations. With me up here talking and you in the chat, and then you talk to other people in chat. They're arguing with you and stuff. So first of all, I want to say I appreciate you, Trinidad. Thank you so much for the conversation. Thank you for having the conversation in a way that wasn't vitriol filled and it wasn't just insults and fighting with me. God, I love when I get to actually have a conversation with a person. It's fucking amazing. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm just going to tell you, I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what's not just good for you, but what's good for the country, and think about who all this affects, because the rising tide lifts all boats. All right, guys, you know the spiel. The next stream will be Saturday around 11 or 12 in the morning. Depends on when I get up in the morning. Saturday around 11 or 12. Every stream other than that is Tuesday, Wednesday during football season, so I can watch my Eagles just get their ass kicked. I don't know why I do this to myself. But yeah, during football season and with my kids doing sports right now, we can't do the normal Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So streams are Tuesday, Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, Saturday at 11, 12 o'clock. Depends on when I'm up and when I'm doing my thing. Same thing Pacific. Please, if you want to support me financially, you can join my channel. It's $3 a month or 10 cents a day. I'm cheaper than a cup of coffee, like they used to say about supporting them kids over in those third world countries. You can support a Solus Ginger for less than a cup of coffee, less than a gallon of gasoline, one a month, $3. You can also go to my website, progressivematters.com/home. You can buy you some sweet ass merch, or you can also donate to my PayPal, which is my preferred. Donating through YouTube, usually they take a large amount of it, like Trump does. But the best way to support me, as I've always said, I love you guys to fucking death. I know that not everybody's doing great. I know not everybody's got a lot of money. Just being here, having conversations with me, liking the stream, commenting on the stream, being in the chat, being active, being good people, having good conversations. That's the best way you can support me. Going to my channel, clicking on videos, liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. All right, guys. I love you to death. I'm super thankful. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next time.